When you talked to him and whatever over the phone or something, was he like, "Yeah, I really admire you"? Like, was there an acknowledgement that there was some similarities? Or he's like, "I don't see it. It's not at all the same."
There definitely was. Like, he modeled it, and then
he had chops.
He did?
I don't know.
A little bit. He didn't have the super.
That would have done it for me. You're telling me you don't see this, and he's like, "I don't see it, man. I have no idea what you're talking about." HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Deer Grow.
Man, hard to believe, but Deer Grow has been the sponsor that's been there since the beginning of the HUNTR Podcast. Back in 2021, I think that they were the only partner that we had, but it's such a cornerstone brand and set of products for our food plot strategy throughout the year.
No doubt. And it seems like we used to have an off season, but not so much anymore. It's like when the hunting season ends, it really rolls right into food plot season, habitat projects, all of the above. And the Plot Start and Plot Boost have been there since the very beginning. That's a cornerstone for all of our plots. The Plot Start goes on at the beginning, Plot Boost goes on midway through. And since they came out with all of the fertilizers, that gets mixed in with the Plot Boost application as well. And I can't believe the results that we've been getting out of that.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Like I said, it's all the work now that really produces the results in the fall. So right now, anyone listening to HUNTR Podcast can use code HUNTR, HUNTR, for 15% off any of the products at deergrow.com.
Better food plots, bigger deer.
Here we go.
Hey,
HUNTR Podcast, episode 262.
There you go.
Nick was here. He left.
Peace out.
He showed up.
Family time or something stupid like that.
He made his appearance for one podcast. He's like, all right, I've had enough.
Just kidding.
I listen to these guys all the time.
That's important.
He never misses an episode.
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, you has to. Yeah. You will listen to every HUNTR podcast.
You will listen to every single one of these.
Yeah. So, well, hey, thank you guys for being here, wherever you're listening from, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. Those are the three main platforms that we drop these episodes on. We do that every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. If you give us a like, a follow, or subscribe on any of those channels, they should give you some notification as to when these are getting ready to drop. And pretty soon here, getting into September and on, we're going to be doing these on Thursday nights as well.
Doubles.
We'll start getting our double bangers out. We have some merch on the website. You guys can check that out. Nick is saving up for an engagement ring. Don't tell us. Well, it sounds like she might see it coming. Yeah. So, but
surprise.
We're expecting it. Yes. So, and she don't listen to these anyway. So buy some merch. Help Nick out. I'm sure he appreciates that. Mm-hmm. If you've written us on the website or Instagram DM, those are the two platforms that we try to keep up with.
We're pretty good.
Old college try. Keeping up with those. So
it's busy season.
Appreciate you guys reaching out. On any of our partners' websites, you can use code HUNTR, HUNTR, for a discount. Predator being the most recent of those. That'll get you a 20% discount. I can't believe they're letting us use that. But so 20% off any of the Predator stuff. And other than that, here we go.
We are recording this on July 24th, sometime in August. This is dropping.
Indeed.
Yes. August.
Yeah, man.
Feels like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I want to say that it's been fast since like May or June. Or
I would say that it has.
Because typically it's like, boy, these summer months drag because I'm just yearning for fall. But it seems like it's been blowing by.
I've been so busy. Yeah. Everything's just kind of, it's flying by.
We even talked about it with August. Like, so I think if this is dropping, we just got back from Illinois doing stuff. And we've got the Whitetail Roadshow at your farm this weekend, I think, coming up.
Who's that entrepreneur dude that has the nose thing? He wears like the nostril breather thing.
Oh, I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-mm.
He's one of those guys that you see that's like, if you're not working this, I stack my hours like this.
Is that Peterson?
No, I'll pull him up for you some point. He said something like, he's like, I think about like the slaves, whether it was like in American history or Egyptian history, they worked from the time that they were of age until they literally died. Any waking moment that they were awake. He's like, and I just think if they could do it, I could do it.
Yeah. That's a good comparison, I guess.
Yeah, and I got a kick because I saw that the other day, and also I was like, not obviously to that level, but I feel like we've been busting our butts here. Like it's been dark to dark for a couple weeks, if not months now. So
we tell people all the time, and we do that because come October, especially, it's like not that we don't work, but when we have the conditions align, it's like I want to have the flexibility to just go.
Yeah,
Like,
strategic vacancy.
yeah, just go. So when the conditions aren't right, I'm still working, but when they're right, I'm out.
We're going.
I'm going.
Priorities.
Yeah. So, but that requires all of this busyness in the off season, not to mention like the farm stuff we've got going on and everything else that we've got to get to. So, anyways, we figured bring in Chris Brackett today.
Who better?
I mean, it's August. We're like imminent here to
we're due
whitetail
to
season.
Get in trouble with something. So
yeah. So I
and
think
also we're gonna see Chris next week at the farm. So good prep kind of checklist thing for that. So.
Yep. So we figure bring Brackett in, start that discussion. Who knows what rabbit holes we shall go down.
Oh, there's plenty to fall in today,
which is the fun part. So, anyways, no introduction needed. Let's bring in Chris. Here we go, Chris Brackett, ladies and gentlemen. What are you wearing? A Dolly shirt?
Dude, I went to Walmart the other day, and
here we go at the Walmart
because I ruined my Crystal Gale T-shirt, the cougar in the car.
Yeah. So you went Dolly.
We ruined everything in the field, dude. So I went like Walmart shopping and got like 8 just fun T-shirts because you ruin them out there, spraying and everything. And my wife doesn't really like the chemicals, right? The wives, they don't like the chemicals, right?
No, they don't.
So it's like I'll just go buy these shirts. I found them all for like $8. Bought the coolest Corona shirt. Bought a Dolly shirt. I got a little frog that says "bruh" on it.
Yeah.
Just funny stuff, right?
He was trying to sell me on these the other day. He's like, dude, you wouldn't believe what you get at Walmart for $8. They got some great stuff. And he starts like sending me these pictures. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna run right over there.
Working 9 to 5 on the Dolly shirt.
Yeah.
So my wife's favorite was the Dolly shirt. Right
Yeah. Classic.
It's kind of cool. It reminds me of Ricky Bobby, right? Like, it ruined my Crystal Gale T-shirt.
Well, dude, speaking of T-shirts, we were just talking about before freaking Hulk Hogan died today.
Yes, morning. I saw that flipping through.
And Ozzy this week?
Ozzy.
Like, what the hell, man? What's going on?
It goes in 3, so like you just wonder who's next,
Ugh, hopefully not Dolly. Did you just jinx her?
I hope she's like Betty White. She'll just live forever. She's the best.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys, dude. Like I needed a reason for a break because right now is just like weed, crazy, water hemp. Switchgrass we talked about last night. It's just like bang, bang, bang. The weeds have exploded, and it's now. If you don't take it back right now, they'll all go to head, and then you might as well worry about it next year.
Yeah. No, I mean that. It's crazy. Like even when we're out there, like everything, including the weeds, just grows so much faster. Like obviously we have weed issues out here, but it's not like it just is a different level out there.
Well, it's been supercharged because you guys have been discussing. I've been listening to the pods. You literally have had more rain than we have, and we have had a ton. And the corn's already tasseled out.
Yep.
Everything's finishing off. There's going to be so much corn out and beans out this year, probably earlier than ever. And there's no excuse for us not to have the biggest whitetails that we've had, maybe even in our lifetime, because of the amount of rain. You can't add that. You can't put that in the mix this year that they didn't have all the food, they didn't have all the browse, they didn't have all the crops, and they didn't have the rain because they're almost finished. Every night they're in the yard or whatever. And these big deer almost finished, like you were saying 2 weeks ago. Like they've got what they've got. They may throw some little crap and some splits and stuff, but I've never seen deer bigger. But again, the 8 points are putting on maybe a split. The 8 points are becoming 9 points. But if they don't have the super genes, they don't have the super genes.
Yeah,
but it's going to be really
are.
cool because some of these guys are going to kill some mega. Like if somebody had a super deer, those deer are going to be at their full potential. And it's going to be really cool to see, what falls, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I had one of those ones show up yesterday. I haven't sent him to you yet, Chris, but he was a 4-year-old last year. It was that flyer deer that Brian shot. And so far, I've been like, that's what I've been seeing too. It's like, man, some of these just, well, I mean, I guess some kind of stayed the same, but that's just their genetic potential. I agree with you. They're showing you what they got. This one specifically, do you think he's a little bigger in the frame, right?
Yeah, no, he definitely is wider in the frame, and I think he's got a little better tine length. But other than, but
he lost his trash, like he cleaned up. So this is the deer that Brian shot in the shoulder, and then he lived. He looked of good health, and I was like, I think that that deer's gonna be. So he's 5 this year. So I was anxious to see, is he going to throw another kicker? What's he going to do?
You thought he was going to be in the 50s this year, and he's barely over 40, I would assume.
What do you think he was last year?
Heavier though?
No.
No. If anything, maybe a little thinner. So like, it has me thinking, like, is it an injury that maybe he's just a little behind this year? Should we try to give him another year?
Lukowski says like they may have a bad year because of an infection or because of something, right? And then he says they have one super jump, and that I think that, and he's talking about deer, not, Illinois, no mineral, right? So you're looking at typical deer, but he's talking about them jumping once. But one of the deer that Tiffany's chasing or whatever on 2024, I was watching it the other night. Still watch Outdoor Channel all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's chasing like a crown royal deer, and I like to hear Lee's input. He's 10 years older than me, and he's manages to the max. And I love their content, Rory's content. I'm still a deer freak, but he was saying like they could just have a parasite. When we've talked about it, a parasite got shot in the shoulder, and sometimes they'll just put it in their body, just try to survive, stay the same, and then you could see it super explode.
Yeah.
Like that deer I shot last year. I know that deer is really, really old, but he looked like a 2-year-old.
Right.
He had to have an injury or a parasite or something, that weirdo deer.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Was
4
that-
years ago,
Yeah,
he was
that
like 190.
was that just last year that he? Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess you just said it. Yeah, he had been bigger years prior, and he had just had an off year.
Yeah, so like when we first got this little bitty 22-acre farm next to a friend of our farm, and we're real big, and if we can buy the piece of property and the farmer wants the tillable, we'll keep the best little place, and that's what we did here and set it up, and the farmer's happy, no hunting out there in the big ag, and then bringing these deer out of this wood lot, out of the parks and the neighborhoods and whatever. And this deer, when we first ran a camera on that farm, he was like, I don't know, I'd love to say 190s, maybe 200, big splits, veiny, and the kind of the velvet pictures, all the bachelor group like went looking for that deer disappears, comes back the next year. It's got to be the same deer, same forks. He's 110 inches.
Mm-hmm.
So he dropped like, I think 70 inches. And then you watch him all year. And then all of a sudden he blows up again into 160 something inch deer. And then I end up shooting him at the end of the season. But all three of us just could have passed him around, holding onto his legs because his body was bad.
Wow.
But just a real docile deer, made scrapes. A neighbor sent me a video. But so that deer, I don't think that deer got shot. I think that one was more of a parasite or survived EHD.
Mm-hmm.
But super healthy. Super healthy, just like a little old man. You could see his backbone a little bit and stuff. But you're saying that deer got shot in the shoulder. Did he recover the arrow? Did he recover the broadhead?
I think the broadhead was in him, right?
I want to say it broke at the ferrule, if
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah, so it might be in him.
Well,
in fact, I'll have to look. I probably have some shots from. I didn't have a lot of good pictures. It's a daylight picture. I'll have to look and see if I can see any kind of growth over it.
Because remember when I shot him in the shoulder, the next year, that deer looked like dog shit. He had now
I'm interested. Now I'm gonna have to look. It was on the left side. For sure. Left side, like right square in the femur bone, I'm pretty sure.
Because that's what I did with that
that's
one.
What's interesting about the deer behind me, that big 8.5, 9.5-year-old Wolverine. He had got shot. Not only did he get shot with a gun twice, but he had a giant shoulder, like a perfect bullet hole through one of the shoulders, went through no man's land, like up front where the cavity comes down. I don't know how it had to be a muzzleloader because it would have expanded and killed him. So that was at 6. He was almost a 200-inch typical, and then he went down through an extra, and then I was on my timeout, and then I killed him. But like that deer didn't do anything funky. He just went down in frame from a mega typical too. Still a big one, but threw like an extra old man, like third point, but he never threw any of the trash again. He never threw the big giant stuff, But it's interesting, but he didn't have anything in his bone. The only time I've ever seen something grow crazy non-typical is if that broadhead is in, like sticking the bone and doing what you said, Jeremy, like
Yeah.
calcium growing around it, and then kind of like throwing calcium to the rest of his body.
Yeah.
I just looked to see if there was. I couldn't really tell from the screenshots that I.
You remember the picture we got? We pulled that camera card of him the year after. He was like, he went from 180 inches to like a $110.
Yeah,
and just like this giant
he looked
knot
terrible,
on his shoulder,
like non-recognizable.
Yeah, I assume he died like that year.
Well, he was also ancient too, you know. So it's like
yeah.
As long as it's not like a mortal injury, you want to believe that a 4-year-old can recover more than a 10-year-old.
I agree. Yeah, I would think so. I mean, the only thing that I've seen this year, and I showed you that one from public up here, is that I feel like I've seen several deer that the only thing I can assume is they dropped their antlers late because they just look behind.
Yeah, dude, he's got one right now that's like a big framey sucker, but he's like his tines are this long right now.
But he's got giant split brows, like heavy giant split brows, like Jared's buck. But it just fizzles out to an 8-point with like 2-inch tines.
I wish I had my pile of antlers that are just in the other room. I've got weirdos, and then I've got a bunch of deer that you're talking about that are older animals, but they're only this short. But the bases and then the split brows and all the trash, you know, they're older park deer. I mean, I hunt park deer. You know, they come out of the park, whether it be they come out a mile or they come out 100 feet. But you know that, and that's how I've hunted my whole life is in Illinois. You know, like I'm always trying to find a secluded non-hunting area and then bring those deer out, feed them. You feed them with tons of food and tons of, you know, crops and stuff, but you still got to leave them alone.
Sure.
But there's a lot of those 145s that get slipping through. Then you get to see what they do when they get older. And, you know, shocker, not every deer turns into a 160 or 180.
Yeah.
Which I think is more prevalent maybe in 2025, what you guys have kind of started talking about with the high grading that Jared beat home always. And then Jeremy, from your biology kind of standpoint or whatever, it's really, really evident that not every deer makes it to 160, and very few do.
Well, dude,
because I've got them in the yard, old park deer.
I think it is really helpful because I don't know in the past 2 times we've had you on if we made it like if people fully understand the situation as like at least one of your farms, and you have others that aren't, but the one is butting up to like it's a non-hunting park. You know what I mean? It's like it's set aside by the city.
Yeah, my whole career. So like I'm losing it to the city.
Right.
So it's time to talk about stuff like that, but it's not a secret, right? Like we all sell land, we all develop land. We want the best land. Some clients, I got clients that are super happy with my buddy Chris Wing, shout out to him. I can't get him to not put a blind at 20 foot in the air. So he's not really sneaky getting it 20 foot in the air because he's from Michigan. And I'm beating on him to like, you got Miscanthus and Switchgrass, put it at 5, you could sneak in the back. And those deer know you're there, right? And so over time, we are trying to find the best farms for for what that person wants. Me particular, I found out really early in my life that the greatest way to hunt a bigger animal or a mature animal, like 5 years old or older, was to find a place that they weren't hunted and either get permission, buy, lease, whatever next to it. So over the last 20 years of my career in filming and doing whatever, there's probably 6 places here in central Illinois that have non-hunting parks. Champaign, where you guys talked about the government, the Illinois government, having these parks around Champaign County and all these ditches that are, whether they be like MSD in Fulton County, it's a waste place that, back in the 50s, the same, the pulling the coal out. There's a lot of that stuff they can't transfer over and they got to own it forever. Well, they become sanctuaries and then you hunt around it. And it's always been like that. And so it's a race to buy, normally over market, the stuff that butts up against a park. And it's always been not my secret, but the guys that learned it earlier. And so, won the game for the last 20 years. So that's all I've tried to buy. Peoria County, I don't think Whitetail Edge, they've kind of fell onto that up against the Peoria Park District. That's where the world record came out of the park, coming down to the fields. This has been like this for 50 plus years. And the wild part is that over the years, I've grandfathered into this family-owned property and paid this big money lease back when leases weren't even that expensive, but I've kept that up and grandfathered in and taken care of it. But it was 1,000 acres. I got to hunt about 300 of it, and then we bought little pieces around it. And then it's where I've got to study and become a whitetail expert, is watching these park deer.
Yeah.
And when I say park deer, like there's millions of trails. Like right now they're having a disc golf tournament this weekend in it. Deer are going to be dodging disc golf, guys and people and whatever, and the deer see it. But when they cross that line into our farm or into the lease or into whatever, they become different deer.
Yeah.
And you get to watch that, and it makes it better to study deer because they get to see humans and pattern humans, and if you can use that to your advantage, you can win. So that kind of sets it up, is like, that's what I look for in a farm, whether it be an old lady, when you grew up, there's like, that old lady don't let anybody hunt, she has a sanctuary.
Yeah.
That can be as simple as it is to get a deer from 3 to 5.
For sure.
But so that's been my key my whole life, is
the reason
hunting next to a giant 3,500 acres of park, but they don't hunt in it.
Yeah. Well, and the reason that I pull that out, Chris, is I want people to have an understanding of, like, you're getting to watch some of these deer up until like 6, 7, 8, 10 years old in some cases. More so even than our farm, an hour from you. We're not butting up against a no hunting area. We struggle a little bit more to get the age on them. And so I think you bring a really unique perspective to just getting to study deer from that standpoint.
And I've never been calm enough to talk about it because, like even the last time we did the interview where I told my story or whatever, is that no one ever got to see the chill Brackett drink a couple beers and deer camp and go to my farm and stay there for 45 days and be by myself and hunt and have you come in or whatever. Like, all I love to do is chase whitetails and shoot anything and everything. But my whole life, I never thought I could afford a farm. And God's been able to put that mountain in front of me that he moved. That's just like, well, you've worked really hard. These things make sense. Got into real estate, understand it. And now I put everything into my 2 farms, and I love that. And I found a real good season in that's kept me just honing my craft. But before that, I had leases like everybody else, or properties like yours that I hunted with my friends or whoever. I never really could dive into it with the macro kind of look at individual seeds and going out and hand seeding and miscanthus and having them be like my culture. So here, my partner, Kirk, in lots of land and stuff, is that we had goals to buy farms that I wanted to buy 20 years ago. And you just have to stay on them and say, if they ever come up for sale, you have to buy that farm. And that's what I've done. And so I've been able to study these deer and shoot them, like we're able to hunt our places with a gun or with a bow. So it's the same, but it definitely is heavily relying on the fact that these deer can do deer stuff.
Yeah.
They know where the boundary is. So when they come onto the battleground, they're fair play. It also has its unique challenges, like what you were saying last year. My deer aren't giving me a free pass. They haven't seen people because Carl hasn't left the house. And then when they see you, they're like, no free passes. So for me, if I wear my same clothes, whether it be on my farm that's out in the wilderness, not far from yours, or here next to the park, it very much is a give and take on what they'll allow you to get away with.
Yeah.
Like you were saying, those deer just let me drive by in the tractor yesterday.
Yeah. Well, that's a really cool component of it, is just understanding, like, if you would call that the DNA of your farm, but just like, and it's, I guarantee there's people out there that'll be like, oh, of course, you hunt next to a park type of a thing, but frickin' who wouldn't want that, to have a piece of property that you own or lease or have permission on that butts up to an area that can't be hunted? Like, whether you put the name park on it or, old lady's place that she doesn't let anybody hunt, like, all we're after is these deer able to get to a certain age. And with the park, they really have that escalated ability of, like, they just feel really super comfortable in there. And dude, that's what a situation to be able to hone your skills and you're pulling them off of that property with, like, obviously there's no baiting in Illinois. So this is all land management stuff that you're doing, tactics that you're using to make them feel comfortable and pull them out into a huntable situation. Like, dude, that's the dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the dream.
That's why I'm asking you to. That's why I'm having you find us. try to find us one.
Sure.
They're impossible to find that.
Well, I just bought my dream farm, and it's like every time you think that everything's gone, clearly God is involved in complete surrender to what you want, eye on the prize, pray without ceasing, know where you're at. Like I watch you discipline with whitetails when I was trying to talk you into taking a muzzleloader and blasting those deer. And you're like, nope, I want to do it with a bow. And I'm like, you're an idiot.
Hey.
shoot the deer.
There he
He's
is.
going to be cool this year, but I'm like,
Yeah.
if I would have been in that tree with you filming,
Yeah, you'd have probably thrown me out of it.
Epic. Like that deer did exactly what he was supposed to. And for me, that's a little bit of it is like, he's an 8-pointer. I'm probably going to shoot him if I'm hunting out of state.
Yeah.
And so I have but I've been there. I've rode the greatest roller coasters, and I've got the dreams, and I've done all the stuff. And so now each deer is different. Even like the big dude that I shot at my place this year. But where you were kind of going with that is like, that's number one. That's what we're looking to buy.
Yeah.
Farms like that. So I just was able to buy a farm that we'll probably build a house on, put a pond on, and I get to take all my skills that I've been fortunate enough to be able to hone and put it to this farm. And I can't wait for you guys to see it, but it was blank slate, and to take it to where it's at right now. Pretty excited, but I don't know where it goes from there, but I do know this: on this farm, I've taken it very slow on developing it, because the 100 acres where we stay and the Airbnb is, I've maxed it out. There's nothing else I can do to that 100 acres.
Yeah.
And now I don't have anything left to enjoy on it. So there's definitely that gray-haired wisdom. It's like, oh, slow down.
Yeah.
And develop this farm slower and enjoy it, rather than get it to this pinnacle and then like go, well, there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, that's the big one, man, because we just got done talking about it today. It's like, it's the understanding, especially with all of us, the pursuit is to grow these mature bucks, or to hunt these mature bucks. And it's like, there's plenty of situations that if you've got the wrong neighbors or you're in the wrong neighborhood, it's an impossible goal. Like they die a lot, and so.
Which is probably the case with your 100 too, where it's a great farm and you've killed some awesome deer on it, but there is a neighbor component that is somewhat of a limiting factor.
There is, but that's where that, without ceasing, we're willing to buy it.
Yeah.
Like you just have, you have to wake up every day, and whether it be your list, your prayers, your discussion with your wife, your businesses, whatever it is, you have to stay on that. And because there is an opportunity, you're like, they're never going to sell it. Yes, they are. Like the odds are they're going to go, I would sell it right now. My farm that my grandpa owned is for sale. I'd love to buy it. There's like always an opportunity. So I think the number one thing I think I hear from so many was like, they're never going to sell that. And if somebody says that to me, it's almost like, hey guys, want to go buy a farm? Because if they're saying that, then everyone thinks that way. So let's go over and make them an offer. It's strange like that, but that's how people think.
Yeah.
And in 2025, I have so many farmers right now around me that just they're selling, and you're like, that guy, I can't believe that guy, he sold everything and is like, I'm going to enjoy the next 20 years of my life because my kids don't want to take it over. Well, that's 1,000 acres next to the house, next to the park. Dude, I never thought they would sell that in all of our lives. They bought it for $14 million. The city, I had the contract, took it through all the channels. I had a 2% commission on that deal, set up all the meetings. Well, my contract ran out 12 months into it, and they waited and went around me and bought it for $14 million. And I lose out on the commission, and I could raise a stink about it and whatever, but I may lose. The last couple of years I've had to hunt it.
Right.
And so now it's like, all right, well, city, we'll lease it from you still if I can, but we have a contract on it for a couple of years that, we could get booted off, or we could just maintain the farming and hunting rights of it. But every day is a gift, I think, with any of our properties or in our life or whatever. So I think that's the maturity of looking at, like, I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to get all the juice out of the squeeze if you want. And when it's over, it's over. But you can find another 5-star super cool place, and that's what we're keeping our eye open for you guys. As like, do we buy another one that's up against a park, or do you offer twice as much because we know it's depleting?
Yeah. Well, and I assume that, and things change too, right? I mean, the park, maybe not so much, but like you talk about places like Clinton Power Plant where Stan was hunting. You talk about a lot of the places around Columbus, Ohio, where Bomar and the Eskers hunt. Like, all these places they're killing big deer there for a reason. It's not. I mean, they just exist. They exist there.
Yeah. Well, and those are the known like not that they're publicized, but like you can seek out places that are like publicized as no hunting. Like, hey, obviously you don't hunt these, you can't hunt these parks and this and that. But like, I do think that there are a lot more, maybe regionally, but I do think there are a lot of like landowners and stuff who don't allow hunting. That essentially, it would create that environment, but it's just there's no way to know unless you are there or
you have to be in the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think they exist.
I guarantee you Lukowski deals with it as he's the park.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Everybody buying big tracts. Look at his Illinois farm, right? 4,000 acres, something like that. Why not invest your money in land? It's a great investment. And we'll all help you buy it, right? So, but like land's a great investment. If you got the money and you're putting it in there, especially at like break down real estate for a second, if you're making 10% in the market, right? And then you got a loan for 6%, you borrow against your investment, and then the land's increasing by 4 to 6%. All of us sell land, real estate, real estate agents. Like, if somebody has money, that's the best place to put it.
Yeah.
You can make money on borrowing money. And it's like, how do you guys buy land? You're like, our job is to teach you, so give us a call type thing.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, also at the same point, it's like I can't go out there and play around with my stock market investments. I can go out there and hunt my balls off on my property and enjoy it.
Yeah, put some trout in your pond.
Yeah, do whatever I want, Yeah, that's it, man. And
well, I'm sure Lukowski, he's a great example because he would be just super honest about everything, his encounters. He's not far, and I've been to his farm, and I've watched him, and we've been friends for 20 years. He's the park.
Yeah.
I would love to buy up against him.
Absolutely. Yeah, that dude's protecting. He's got 2 or 3 bucks that he's like, I'm killing these deer. They will die. But other than that, like, I'm protecting everything.
And he always says that the biggest ones leave.
Yeah.
Would you?
Why not be the neighbor?
Well, and I've heard this about. It was Mark Drury's farm.
Yeah,
this guy had commented on specifically. It was what's his name? Greg Glessinger.
Yeah,
said this.
Yeah, Mark's right.
I would say that some of those Drury farms are, comparable to Lukowski farm. Maybe not in size. Maybe they have a different strategy or whatever. But, Greg was in love because I know they're friends. He's like, dude, Mark Drury is the worst neighbor you could ever ask for because he has the ability to just wait for him to show up. And the minute he does, he's going to go in and kill it.
Well, look at Dave Lindsay's probably got the most famous neighbor deer. What was that one?
Goliath.
Yeah, was it Goliath?
Yeah.
Just the dream deer.
Yeah.
Walks out one time. He doesn't get a shot or he missed or something happened. Dave
Lindsay. Yep.
And the neighbor killed
it. Hey, dude. He's over here. You want to see him? He's dead.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't seen that deer, that's the heartbreaker of heartbreakers.
You've seen it. He walks out into Beanfield in the wintertime. Just like absolute magnum.
I'm going to have to rewatch it.
Of all time, it doesn't matter, hands down, whatever. Late season Iowa, 10, 15 years ago. Biggest deer of the planet.
I think he misses it.
I think there's a malfunction of there somehow.
Something happened,
trying to get footage. And then went to the other neighbor field, the other neighbor that's leaving beans as well. He just went over there.
Yeah, monster.
Wow.
Like absolute monster. Yeah, I mean, that's it. And I mean, listen, we're not shy to it. Like, I know there's people listening to this that know where all of my farms are at, not that I'm growing giants right now, but I might be a better neighbor than a lot of people.
The HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Predator Camo.
Man, this one feels good, right? I know people have been looking at this picture over your shoulder for a while now. I think that was 2018, but we just, over the last, how many years, keep coming back to Predator Camo because it's been so damn good for us.
No doubt. I think we bought our first set off of Jen at the Archer Trade Show almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Jen's still with the company, and the patterns have, only improved since then. They actually were recently acquired within the past couple of years. We've had a chance this past year to go and meet with new ownership, talk about redesigning a lot of the old lines, plans for new patterns, all of the above. So really excited about what's to come, not only this coming year, But in years to come, there's a lot of good stuff coming from Predator.
Yeah, and I mean, for us, it's always been going back to that breakup pattern, right? That's the historic look, whether you're talking about the spring greens or brown deceptions or fall grays.
Yep.
I mean, that breakup is really what's been so powerful for us in a tree stand. And right now, they're letting anyone use the code HUNTR on the Predator Camo website and get 20% off any of the lines, including all the new stuff that dropped here in July.
Be the Predator.
Well, take the yard deer. So right now I have, Kirk, us like this farm. One day we're gonna sell it. This baby's gonna be for sale. It's probably gonna bring twice as much money to somebody that's deer crazy than what the market will hold. Right. Great whitetail equity, which is why I started that company. But at the end of the day, 5 deer right now that are coming out of the bottoms, out of the switch, out of the park, living on the edge. Eat alfalfa for 2 hours, work up the field around the nylon fence we put up to experiment with the beans, through the beans, into the clover, up to the peach trees. The peach trees are dropping right now. Drink out of the little deer pond watering thing, and then go down the driveway out into the golf course, into the neighbors, golf course and ponds. And then they come back sometime in the night and sleep in the cool season grasses next to the driveway. And half of those deer that present here that we've let pass over the years, I get pictures literally all year long of every person on this driveway on the other side of the golf course. They just all start falling dead. 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, 5-year-olds. Some of them are mega giants. I got their sheds for like 4 or 5 years. They die on a little half-acre corner lot because these areas you can still bow hunt. They're not in the city.
Yeah.
But it's become, if you went back 10 years, 4 people probably hunted these backyards.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, everyone hunts every single half-acre lot around here.
What do you think that is, Chris? Like, what is it, because people are losing access on the farms around there, or do you think that there's actually just more people hunting?
I just think that I think that people did the same thing I did 25 years ago and went, okay, I can kill a deer at will, whether it be a crossbow or a regular bow or a rock or whatever it is. Like I've done the deer hunting thing, and they go like, where are the big ones?
Yeah.
And they go, where do I see the big ones? And you're like, oh, over there next to that park and next to Brackett, Switchgrass and all. And they're like, I'm going to go put this guy's roof on or finish his back and do landscaping or whatever. And the guy's like, yeah, dude, if you want to put up an Esker type blind up against my house and shoot out my backyard, great. The only thing they got to risk is where the deer goes.
Right.
When it gets shot. That's it. Like my neighbor right here is so excited because a doe got hit and the cop killed it in the front yard or whatever. And he got that meat, and he's got stands laying over there, but he could put up his stand, but it's not the shooting of the deer. It's where the deer ends up going, which is always the problem. That guy's not over here helping me plant all these trees and all this stuff and doing whatever. And then we build this relationship where it's like, how many deer you want to kill this year? Not, should I shoot one in the backyard and have it run into you? I've got my neighbors next door. They shot 3 does last year with their kids, but they didn't have double lung shots. So they didn't fall within 50 or 60 yards. And everybody like, that Brackett's an asshole because he doesn't allow people to go and recover the deer. Is like, I just told them, hey, send me the video. Even they called me. I went over there. I pulled the arrow. And this is their son Justin, or what, I think his name's Justin. And he's like, he hit 1 lung, liver, and guts. That deer's not dead in an hour. Mm-mm. So we're going to have to wait. But by that time, the next morning, the coyotes get it. And it's like, you guys can't bust up the brush and ruin the whole thing we got going over here.
Right.
And it's so now this year that we've already been talking, and it's like, okay, how can you make the best percentage of shots? Do I need to come over there and spray and put in a plot and say, hey, like, I don't care what deer you kill. We have to concentrate on the double lung, big broadhead, no excuses, big giant. These are the new titanium beasts or whatever, but like big broadhead, double lung, concentrate on the shot. To me, it's more about the shot. If you shoot the deer right, it's 50, 100 yards.
Yeah. How big is that property, Chris?
There's a 17. This one's 30.
They're on a 30.
it's on the 17 next door, and the deer have to come through us to get there. But of course, I just watch them and hunt them. And
yeah, but so big enough, it's feasible to think, the deer could die on that. It's not like a 2 acre lot, and there's no way they're dying on that property.
Yeah, they'll die in the ditch between us.
Yeah,
and that's what I want. So that's why I talked to him. I was like, "Yo, get over here. You're shooting some crappy crossbow."
And in Illinois, Chris, I should know this, but we haven't had to track one across the property line yet. It's a requirement to have permission. You can't just go get your deer.
300 yards from your houses, right? So 300 yards with a gun.
To recover is what I mean.
Yeah, you can't go on somebody's property.
Yeah, you gotta have permission.
Without a ticket. Yeah, you're gonna get a ticket. You take a weapon, it's a criminal trespass. What wild part in Illinois is that if you don't take a gun and you go over there, like if you could go pee in Walmart right now and they could call the cops, they can't remove you. Welcome to Blue State. They cannot remove you. My friend, East Peoria cop, he was telling me, he's like, they can literally assault us and I will write them a ticket. And we won't even take them to lock up. They just write them a ticket. They don't have to make them leave or anything. Well, it's interesting, right? The minute you add a weapon to it, it changes the game.
Yeah.
But if you want to go recover a deer on somebody's property, it's literally just a ticket. And did you do damage to the property? Is it over 350? Now does it become a criminal trespass? It gets really crazy because then you start putting a value on an animal that the state has already had precedence on. They value an animal because of inches of antler. So are you removing and stealing a deer from a piece of property that now has value over $350 that's now a felony? People don't think that far because they're like, I'm not going to get caught.
It's just
deer. If the deer's big enough, you are getting caught. Like there's no way around it.
Right.
So it's an interesting.
Well, it does make you think though, as far as like properties that you're going to hunt. If it's illegal to recover your deer, off of your property without permission. I mean, there's some real, consequences and ability to. Because I'm the same way, dude. Like if you'd asked me, I don't know, 5 years ago, if you would ever not allow somebody to recover a deer on your property, I would say no. Of course, I want them to recover it. I mean, that's the ethical thing to do. But then you get put in a situation where, in our case, there was a group of Amish guys that were just, it was like every other day they were calling us and they're like, yep, ran over on your property. We got to go get it. To a point where I started to question the ethics of the shots that were being made. Yeah. And eventually we had to put the law down. I'm like, listen, we're still obviously going to let you recover the deer, but we're going to come be present for every one of those.
You got to make it a little harder, which then kind of beefs up. Jeremy, you're always so good at this, like analytically, and like you're kind of the adult of the group here, though. Like what kind of what's your insight, like your big brain, when it comes down to like explaining that, make it a little harder, which will then set like if somebody was hunting my property, you shoot a buck. Like back when I had a bigger lease and I let somebody come and hunt, if you're going to pull the trigger, you got to mount the deer. Now you're at $700 before you pull the trigger.
Yep. Yeah, you've got to have something there. I mean, and it's kid gloving right now, but so I've got a guy who outfits 7 or 8 guys from, I don't know if it's from Vermont or New Hampshire or something like that.
Next has to be your outfitting, whatever it is.
Yeah, right? next to my Ohio place, bow only, which includes crossbow, right? I would say 3, maybe 4 times last year out of 8 guys, I got the call of it ran over on your line. And I was pretty reasonable with them. I didn't stop them at all, but I would, number one, I'd make them send me a trail camera picture of which deer they thought it was, right? Because I just want to know. I think I told you all 4 of them were like 1-year-old baskets. So I'm like, whatever. And then I would make him track it on Onyx, like where he walked, and send me the track.
That's a good call.
Yep. So essentially, I knew exactly where he was going, and I also, I'm littered with cameras, right? I got that dude every which way he went.
That's a great call. That Onyx one, that's a good tip.
Just because, like, if all of a sudden I get a track and I'm like, that's you guys were just kind of walking the walk type of thing. Because I would always say, I'm like, hey, listen, if you're telling me where I think you're telling me, that's fine. Go in, just send me the track. But do not go over to A, B, and C because, like, I'm coming down to hunt this week. Like, don't do it. If it went over there, I'll look for it when I get down there.
Each property, I think, is different for me. I mean, that I've never thought about the onyx part. I don't know. I wouldn't let anybody just go on there. Well, last year I'm like, you see the deer, and he's like, yeah. It went into this open field, and so like simultaneously, 3 people called in the same evening to all track deer. All of them, I said, whoa. If they didn't die on your property, they're probably not shot good. We're waiting until tomorrow, no matter what. But tonight, the answer is that's too big of a crap storm for me. Everybody time out. It's just a deer. I'll go buy 6 tags in Illinois, kill 6 does in the front yard. I'll give you all a deer. It's not about the meat anymore when the DNR, which is another story, wants to wipe them all out. So it's not about, well, get the meat. It's not about that.
No.
So don't do that argument, because now you're not getting it.
Yeah, especially if you're shooting 1.5-year-old bucks. Like you're there to
that is not about to
take a rack. Yeah, you want to kill a buck to kill a buck, right? You just want to take a grip and grin.
It's not the meat. We'll get you however many you want.
Yeah.
You know, like, so then the question is like, I just went to the 61 acres I sold to my friend. I went over to the neighbor to get water, to like bury the hatchet. I let the guy get a buck last year after I went and found it and said, hey, it's in this location, drive over, get it. I went to the guy and I went to him and I said, hey man, I wanted to apologize to you, and please understand the circumstance. You don't have to, will you forgive me? I apologize with the way that I handled it. In this scenario, this was the best way I figured I could handle it. If I knew you better and had more time, I could have spent with you to know you and know who you were as character, whatever. But understand that I can't just allow liability reasons, even though my wife, like she's always a great excuse, but she is a worry war as far as liability, right? And it's like, I can't just let you come over here and drive your 4-wheeler and just go on it. So I apologized to the guy. He got his deer, and immediately I said, do you accept my apology? And he said he wanted to argue. He did not want to accept my apology. And all I said, he started yelling at me because the deer meat went bad. He's shooting 140-inch deer, 3-4-year-old, great deer to him, but it was badly shot. I had a trail cam picture of the guts hanging out of it.
Yeah.
Minutes after his shot in our CRP field. There's a reason why I didn't let you come get it.
There's nothing you can do.
The guy chose to not accept it and then berate me that I let the deer waste.
Yeah.
It was a gut shot.
Yeah, you made a bad shot.
You had to wait till the next morning. I'm sorry it was hot that night, but I don't control the weather.
Yeah.
But
he wouldn't have got it anyways. Even if you said, hey, yeah, that's fine, go in, get it, it would have ran off.
And I went back and apologized and said, hey man, bad scenario, bad circumstance. I'm glad you got your deer. I hope you accept my understanding of my apology of I maybe could have done better. Did not want my apology.
How could you have done better, Chris?
I was an asshole.
How could you have done better? What would you have done differently? What do you mean you could have done better?
He just would have wanted access to it, but I mean, like I said, that wouldn't have recovered the deer.
Well, I'm 47. I've killed a gajillion deer. My state is trying to kill every one of them. If I was 30 or 25, I would have jumped in the car, rolled down there, and got it, right? Like if I didn't have a trail cam picture of it being in the guts, I would have maybe been like, oh yeah, let's go get your buck. Like, world sucks, man. It's beat me down. I look at it a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but also you had some evidence that it wasn't hit 100%. Good. So I mean, even at 25, 100%. You would have been like, I don't think we should go in there.
Wasn't worth the argument with him. I knew immediately he just wanted to argue with me. 68 years old, 60 something years old, wanted to argue with me. Did not want my apology. So it's like, okay, now what do I do on the next one?
Yeah.
When somebody calls, be like, sorry. Old, what's his name? In Clinton ruined it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's why I think you have to, every neighbor is, and every piece of property should have the best relationship you can have, but the respect needs to go both ways.
Yeah.
You got dominion over the animal. Better at the end of the day, it's your call.
Well, the unfortunate thing, and I mean, I don't blame them necessarily, is like they just don't understand, right? Like the guy who shoots one and it runs down into, your 30-acre sanctuary that you've not even shed hunted in 5 years, and he's like, yeah, he's like, I got good blood. It goes down in there. Doesn't realize by going in there, you have implications now that you're going to face for the next many weeks because he just plowed in there to yank a deer out of there. Right. Like here's
one just like that.
They don't understand that. Right. There's not a comprehension. It's like, I don't understand. Like we'll just go track it, like we're just going to keep going until we lose blood type of thing. And whether they find it or not, it's just the disturbance that's caused affects you as the neighbor. And I mean, that's the hardest part about, property. And listen, man, I made plenty of bad shots that, I've lost deer over lines and stuff, but at the same time, you have to at least comprehend that it's not just them inconveniencing you for finding the deer as much as it is like you're about to go in and just like bushwhack their entire property. Like there isn't going to be a buck on that property for the next, 2-3 weeks because of what you just did.
You're muddying the water, and you've been looking forward to the nice still water that
That's it.
That's kind of the deal. My problem neighbor on the 100 that Jared knows all about with all the stories and whatnot is like the guy that continues to sit on the fence line. One, he's getting a 8-foot nylon fence this year if he cuts it, but it's a permission piece that the family's older and they're not in good health, and that's out of respect. Like I don't necessarily want to buy the property, but I know the farmers around want to buy the property and they're friends. And the only permission piece problem I have is the guy sitting on the fence. This is the guy that over and over and over repeatedly I've just asked to back up 80 yards.
Yeah.
Same deer's going to walk up the same draw, just back up 80 yards. He didn't do that. He put up 2 more stands right next to the other one and a piece of cedar post between me and the fence, and he's less than 20 yards from the fence. So on October 10th, I think he's got a picture of the deer walking over the fence that is just down there over the years, walks over, gets his picture taken on the camera, shoots the deer, surprise, runs back in front of the camera over the fence into my CRP. This deer disappears off camera. He's a deer that I wouldn't have minded him shooting. He's a 4-year-old big giant 9-pointer that's 149, 150 deer, but disappeared off all the other neighbors and our camera, and is like, for sure it's dead. Guy keeps it a secret. This is the guy that I don't know if it's like, okay, well, a deer has a certain value. Why don't you spend money? I don't know what the solution is. Doesn't tell anybody. Which is fine, but I find the deer.
Yeah.
I find the deer spring, I pick it up, and then I talk to a couple people that know him, and they go, yeah, he shot that deer on October 10th, and immediately ran over. Here's the picture of it leaving your farm before they got the arrow in it. Deer's laying dead.
So he never called.
You can't recover it.
He never called and asked. You never even heard about it. You just found it in the spring.
No, which is me setting that precedence. I'm just already done with the guy, because every day it was one deer after the other that would come over the fence. He'd shoot it. I just said, just back up 100 yards, man. The deer's still he hunts it every day for 60 days. He said, I put my time in, and the deer walks over, he shoots it, and it goes back over the fence. It's my bad because I didn't make the fence bigger. It's my bad because I put the law down that you can't recover it. And so he just doesn't even bother calling or whatever.
I see.
But I find the animal, and then 10 days later shoots the other deer the one I was after. I didn't invade down there because I'm like, I'm leaving the sanctuary alone. Guy's still sitting on the fence line 60 days in a row. I should just went invaded and killed him. But the deer had gone down. The deer's a 6-year-old deer. Heard through the grapevine that he says, well, I sent the teeth in. It's a 5-year-old deer. It's not a 5-year-old deer. I have the pictures of the deer leading up and whatever is on his downhill. So he shoots that one. He doesn't he shoots that deer in the morning. I'm hunting the farm. I put all the pieces together. He shoots the deer in the morning. He says he watches the deer drop, but he didn't recover that animal till 1 in the morning. That deer die on me or not? He said it died right on the creek, but he watched it die. But him, his son, his 2 grandsons all didn't come get it till 1 in the morning.
Right.
We were actually at the farm. You were there at the farm when he shot that deer.
Is it possible that he like made a bad shot on it, saw it go down in the ditch, and then just backed out? And
I don't think that's the story. I think he made a great shot. Right there, deer came off.
Oh, and you're saying eventually it did die on. You found it on your property. That's the one.
No,
one I didn't find.
You think he went out and got it on your property?
If you watch the deer die, and the deer went 40 yards from the stand, where I've heard that the location is where they said it was.
I see.
There's no cameras with locations from iPhones. There's no any of that. But it's pretty sneaky that 1 a.m.
Yeah. Why would you wait?
You bring only family to come get it.
Yeah.
And then the picture is out in a field. Listen, I'm a sneaky sucker. I'm a convicted criminal. I have been sneaky in my lifetime. I would probably make a pretty dang good game warden.
Yeah. Got to break them to catch them, you know?
There's too many bad things there that if the guy's not going to keep himself honest, the fence is going in this as soon as it cools down. I looked at the weather next week. It's supposed to cool down. It's going in before the season.
How much frontage do you have on that guy? How much fence is going there?
Well, and so he doesn't own it. He's just a permission guy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So which makes it tough. And then
what's the repeat offender thing, right? Like,
why does that make it tough?
Like if somebody's hunting close to my line and shoots a buck, whatever it is.
Now I met the guy while he showed up at my house and said, already trailed it 200 yards through your CR.
Yeah. So there's strike number 1, right?
Yep.
And
oh shit, we got a problem.
Yeah, and I mean, I'd still I probably would turn like the blind eye. I'm like, okay, like
I went and took him and we found the deer. He gave up. I said, oh no, we're not giving up. So we find the deer. I let him shoot him.
Yep. And but that should be it, right? That line's been okay. Hey, that's going to continue to happen based on where you're hunting. Like we no more. Like these deer are doing this, so if you slide up 80 yards in the straw, you're still going to kill these deer, right? Like but because then you just do it over and over and over and over again.
7 days, he shoots another buck. It runs onto the property. I wounded it. It jumped over your fence. I shot him. He jumped back. Whoa, we got a problem.
We got a problem.
We didn't allow him to go after, and I said, listen, you got to back that thing up. Back it up. Back it up. So
how much frontage, Chris?
Go ahead. What were you saying?
How much frontage? How much fence?
That fence, I'm doing 150 yards.
Oh, that's nothing.
150 yards.
No brainer.
I got a 20-year-old down there, old Drake. Shout out to Drake. He's going to help me put it up.
Drake from Michigan.
Is Drake still out there?
Michigan, yeah.
Wow, you've actually fed him and kept him around.
Drake, he hasn't. He's not upside down in the goldfish bag yet.
No, dude, he's a savage. I got him putting up fence, so like not Don Higgins fence, but like soybean.
What is the? Wait a minute. What is the difference between Don Higgins fence and your fence?
There's a lot that I think Don has people that I know, clients that
it's high tensile, right?
My friends, he's putting up high dollar.
What's high tensile?
Don does everything
like
high dollar.
Oh, versus
sits high on grading bins to watch deer, and high dollar.
I did see that.
I saw that too. Yeah, pretty epic.
That was just social media stuff.
Pretty epic one, yeah.
But I know that he likes, loves, uses, and does 8-foot high dollar, high tensile deer fence, and has great guys doing it. I saw the fence that they put up on one of the properties I sold to a friend, and then they had a consult done, and then I'm over planting the switchgrass, and I go, you got an 8-foot fence being put up, dude. Like, what's that about? And he goes, I had a Don Higgins consult. And I'm like, well, first off, why didn't you call me? And it's like, well, never mind. Why are you putting this fence up here? And so none of it made sense, but then I asked, and that's what he recommends on a lot of properties. So that's the intel I got. I can't afford that kind of fence on my farm.
What kind of fence? Vinyl. What kind of fence are you putting up?
Vinyl, nylon.
Vinyl. It's I got it off deerbusters.com. I wish we had like a.
Wow, Deerbusters.
Deerbusters in Pennsylvania.
Who are you gonna call?
Yeah.
In Pennsylvania. And they have all kinds of different fences. And I was always skeptical. Dr. Deer or whatever, they've used fences with ribbon, and I thought it was super complicated. It is not complicated. We just did fences with 10-foot T-posts, and we did fences with 7-foot T-posts with plastic electrics that I zip tied higher. The fence is like 8 foot tall, and we put them about every 10 yards. and it droops in the top, and you could put extra ones in. I'm telling you guys, these pictures are out of this planet. The pictures I sent you in person, it's out of this planet. If you give deer food outside that fence, you can keep the deer from coming inside the fence and eating the beans or corn and beans. And so I've been having Drake put these up for clients. 20 years old, pounding steaks, right out of college. It's a great job for him. I mean, he's putting up 3 acres of fence with like four or 5 rolls, putting these things up around, and then they roll back up on it. And I can see why Higgins and some of these other guys I think Bobby does it too, right? He likes fences and deer to go around the fences, but it's not our game. We're
you're using it for food plots,
we're throwing
right?
a few things in here. Well, we started talking about, you're talking about fencing that one neighbor, and I would tend to agree with you. But then you're also saying we're doing quite a bit of fencing out food plots is what you're saying now.
Yeah, so mine is food plots, so I'm putting Drake to work doing that. I'm going to create him a little business, maybe called like Whitetail Plus or whatever, and lead him and go like, dude, if I was 20, I would have people pay me between $500 and $1,000. I'd go out there in the heat, I'd pound steaks, and I'd roll fence and make a pretty darn good
He's putting them in by hand, the steaks?
Putting them in by hand, dude.
Wow, I don't think I would do that.
He's going to be buff by the end of this thing.
How do you put in a 10-foot T-post steak by hand?
Jump.
Yeah, you'd have to be pretty tall.
I had him steal Jody's, my wife's
a ladder.
Little step stool.
Oh yeah.
So he gets up there. 7-footers are great.
Did you give him at least a T-post driver, or is he using a sledgehammer?
He's using the T-post driver. Well, he put up freaking 90 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, put up 90 posts. So we did so at the one farm we did an electric for Chris Wing. His beans were getting smashed, and it's a smaller. So we did 3 different areas. Big area with the nylon fence from Deer Busters. We need a code for them. I'd love to work with them.
I assume they use that for like keeping it out of like flower beds and stuff. And
that's how they started. That's how they started. And then we did some research. The electric worked really well. So we went Deer Buster fence all the way around, pounded the post, give Drake a call, give me a call, get you Drake's number. But definitely put them in. They're a lot easier than you think. And once you've seen it done or paid to have it done, I don't know if I will go any other way, because you just leave the post up and then you roll it up. Last year was my first year with an electric fence, and I took things like my buddy Nate Lee and Sly and them have always in Iowa have always done the fencing, but I don't have any kids, so I do everything pretty extreme. I went 4-strand on 7-foot T-post last year out front at the park area.
Damn.
Right. And was able to keep every deer off of that fence. Went 4 strands, 3 hot, wired them together, and didn't experiment. That worked here because they had enough alfalfa outside the fence. Down there at this other place we did 3 strands hot, 4th one tall on 10-foot T-posts that Drake just put up, wired them up, and then ran a outside one with the little plastic guys around the outside, so they get that 3D thing that the guys in Iowa kind of came up with. And there's not a deer in anything that we fenced, and it looks really, really good. I think it's the way to the new business. And then so that's for food plotting, guys, if you're listening or watching, whatever. But then like a Higgins or a Bobby, and I don't think, right, Bobby?
Yeah,
Bobby puts them up like that. He
I
likes
mean,
to bring his little points.
The Whitetail group is putting them up.
Yeah, he loves to bring them at the end of a fence, which is great. These guys are putting up high tensile, big, super duper fence.
Yeah, putting in fence. Big post. Yeah,
big posts. They're spending the money. I haven't got there yet. So there's 3 different things we're talking about.
It's a high
fence. Big high tensile.
Yeah, I'm with you. What's the trade-off? I mean, So the height is the same. Those are just more long-term. They last longer.
Yeah, I mean, I think what Don was doing, I mean, that's like property line things, right? Like that's like a fence on your line.
I hate my neighbors.
Yeah. Versus like
deer on my property at all costs. I mean,
he's not rolling that up or opening that up at any point.
Okay, so it's more durable. It's more permanent.
Yes.
Yeah, I got you.
Versus your other stuff.
Mm-hmm. From what I understand, his place for 20 years was a high fence farm where he raised deer. Mm-hmm. Removed in Illinois. Yeah. Kill off those deer and remove the ends. Mm-hmm. And now it becomes free range again. I believe that the majority of his farm was based on that, which is probably no different than my park, just different.
Same, but different. Yeah.
Right.
Just same thing, but different. So you're trying to control a herd, but you're using
It's going to cost a lot of money.
Nigga.
Okay, let's see.
So, so like, I think as we advance, I think even I don't listen to any of this stuff because I had to block it because I don't agree with it, but I do buy his seed, and there are things that I like. Scantus, his switchgrass for certain reasons and stuff, and his beans.
Beans
I
are great.
support Tim Sisk, one of my friends. So
that's where we get our beans.
Great.
Mm-hmm.
Don himself, I don't think we're friends. I think if he understood that, I spent my whole life breaking down a lot of the barriers in television and social media, whatever, so that he would have a platform. I would just like a little bit of respect.
You paved the way for him, is what you're saying.
Do what?
You paved the way for him.
No, I took a lot of shrapnel.
Yeah. You were the infantry on the front line, and he came in as a reserve.
He's a pretty extreme guy, right? One of the original extreme guys, like look at Watch Outdoor Television or YouTube or whatever. The whole thing slow-mo. I used to get in trouble by Mitch Petrie and Jeff Wayne and all them because my arrow was in slow-mo with blood arrow flexion style. Like there's a lot of stuff that just give us a little bit of respect. I know what the hell I'm doing. I do consults too. Thanks for opening up the consult world, him and Jeff and everything. But like Jeff Sturgis, because he's friends with you guys, I followed him. I kind of asked him about Switch and whatnot. Called Don on his cell phone, asked him about Switch. I didn't know what I was doing planting Switch 10 plus years ago. And Don said straight up to me, I don't plant my own. I have other people plant it. When I messaged Jeff and watched his stuff, he was really into frost seeding. He's also dealing with a lot of northern stuff, right?
Yeah.
And I was on timeout, so I had nothing else to lose. I just went out and did Jeff's style, my guess, Don's style, my guess, and guessed in a bunch of ways and watched him for 3 years while I was on probation. Like I got to have the experience of all the experts ahead of me.
Yeah.
I give them full credit. And now I'm pretty good at it, right? So like, but we all had to get there. But there's a lot of people. Jeff is cool. Like you said, you would like him, Chris. And so through that, I'm like, okay, open my eyes. Don't be a butthole. Like watch what he's doing, whatever, and go. You guys would super get along. And so that's kind of developed this social media kind of message back and forth kind of cool thing. Love that.
Well, dude,
that's not that way for that other guy that sits on the grain bin.
Yeah. Well, dude, everybody's got things like from a personal dynamic. It's funny because like, I know people that I would call friends that I would be like, yeah, you wouldn't like them. You know what I mean? Just because
I'm a great friend. I am not easy to take.
Yeah. Well, and vice versa. You know what I mean? I know other people who are like, oh, what do you think of Brackett? And obviously, I love you. I think you're funny, and I can take you. But and you know this about yourself, as we do about us. There's things that are like, just people don't like it. They don't know how they can handle or whatever. So, and I'll tell them, I'm like, nah, I don't think you'd like them.
You wouldn't like him. He's not going to patty cake you.
Yeah.
If you need something, he's the guy I want in the trench with me, right? Like,
but we're also going to agree and disagree about a lot of stuff, just like we do with Jeff or Don.
Well, that is the root of what I'm saying.
Skip or whoever. It's like when we're having a conversation, you say, I'm like, I don't know. Like I might not do it that way. And it's not right or wrong, right? It's just like we're all just trying to find our own flair on how to do stuff.
Really enjoy it. I mean, dude, honestly, as time goes on, I wouldn't say even that it's more, but like we have found a lot of things that you and I like just flat out disagree on. It doesn't mean that I like you any less. I think I like you more.
Yeah.
As we cover those things, and we're like, cool, and we're still good. All right, good. Let's move on.
Do you remember my number one thing that was the first time we all hung out? Do you remember what I said to you about you guys' dynamics? Was exactly that.
Yeah. We have no problem with that.
People in this world that just don't go like, and they just get all huffy and. Would call me names and go, I don't need you anyways. You two can have an agreement, discuss it, work through it, whatever, whether the camera's rolling or not, and then go, okay, yeah, let's do that this time.
Well, you have to like get over yourself. I mean, because dude, you and I have had plenty of interactions where you've said things to me, and I'm like, this fucking guy, but then I'm like, okay, but fine, like, and then we proceed with the relationship, and then they become what they become, and I mean, not everybody's gonna be able to like find common ground, but
there's a lot of people that just harbor that, and it just eats at them, and that's just, it's not healthy, and they don't move forward on discussions or things where it's like, yeah, it's no sweat off my back.
Yeah, and you gotta look in the mirror too and be like, okay, I'm not perfect.
Yeah, I'm
either.
flawed too.
And if I realize
100%.
somebody else can accept me and we can still be friends and we can have that, then we're good.
Yeah.
I got a couple things in me that's like if and we're close. You guys have got a lot closer with me and my wife and my few friends, right? If I open my mouth and I say, "Oh no, it's blue." It's blue. I remember it blue. I can give you 46 scenarios of my photographic memory of why it's blue. But if I don't know, and there is a 1% chance I just go, I don't know about that. I don't change my oil. I don't work on my truck. My transmission's out, Jeremy, by the way, on my big truck.
Dude, I just went through it. It ain't pretty.
So there's things where I go, I don't know about that. But if I know about that and go like the percentages are there, this is what I know. And people don't like you telling the truth.
The HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Hoyt.
Should be no surprise to anyone listening to this that back with Hoyt another season. I'm actually going to be shooting the AX2 aluminum this year.
You traitor.
But you're still going RX9.
Yeah, blacked out as always.
Blacked out.
Yeah.
Big surprise for
80
everyone.
pounds. Big surprise. Yeah.
But seriously, man, I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Every year, it seems like we get a new Hoyt bow in our hands, and they're always a step above the last and just a step above everybody else.
Yeah, they're so consistent, man. Just their processes get better, every year. And we've really been excited about, as we've grown with Hoyt, we've brought some others in with us. And we just feel like the Hoyt family is growing, like the community, and we're really excited about the people that are involved, excited to be a part of that company. And it's really awesome.
So for anyone that's excited about Hoyt, like Jared and I are, you can use the code HUNTR, HUNTR, on Hoyt.com.
Get serious, get Hoyt.
I had this conversation with Greg Poole about that dude that looks like me that got in trouble last night or yesterday. That Greg was on the phone with him for an hour yesterday. This guy never even mentioned that he was in trouble. And like we were having
Was that a dude from Georgia?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just read that this morning, and I was like, I don't know this guy. So I started watching YouTube. I watched like 30 seconds of YouTube. I'm like, fuck this guy.
Oh my God. So I was talking to Greg, and Greg said, well, so like I put out a post that was just like, yo, dude, I know this guy looks like me, not me. Let me get out in front of it. Let me just let you know, like, this isn't me. I tried to tell this guy, don't copy me. I'm not I don't want to be your idol. I don't want to be your hero.
Dude, that's interesting that you say that, because I got when I saw him shooting 110 yards at these bucks and food plots, I'm like, a little bit of arrow affliction there, huh?
There's a lot of fear no evil in that. And I had a conversation about 1.5 years ago where my friends send me pictures of him and go, your boy, hey, like they're like, this guy does this guy think he's you? And like, I didn't start that. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
We'll spotlight him. It's Matt Jennings of The Game. That's what it's called.
I've heard of The Game. I remember hearing
it's on
that.
YouTube. They've got like 60,000 followers or something on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I've never met him.
Sure, those are legit.
But I was
did seem like it.
uncomfortable when my wife was like, what is this guy doing? I'm like, I don't know. I've tried to ignore it. I can't. You're in business, Jeremy. Like, there's a branding conflict. Like, that's all I was trying to do is separate.
Yeah.
And the fact that like every time I called one of my old friends at ScentLock or whoever, this and that is like, no, this guy. And I'm like, why is this? And so there was enough creepy there for me to just say, I'm going to contact him and I'm going to say, man, can you get a little bit of separation there? And he just told me absolutely flat out, no, it was working for him. And
yeah, I'm sure it was.
And it was lucky. And I was like, it's just like the neighbor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm too old.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you. Block, ban, I'm out.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Fast forward a year, evidently pled guilty to something. And
he shot a deer in Kansas that he did not have a tag for the area. So out of unit, I would assume. Drove it to Oklahoma, checked it in, went back to Kansas, killed another buck. And it did it for like
unfortunately,
2-year-olds or 3-year-olds
So,
as well.
and I hope it's not too soon for this joke. So he really was copying. That was the ultimate form of I want to wear Chris Brackett's skin.
That's where the great pool conversation.
You're gonna
was.
get a letter from prison here. You know?
Yeah. He said I would have handled it different. I would have addressed it with humor and sent me a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger and this is great. He sent me a picture of Arnold Schwarzenegger next to Danny DeVito and said I would have made a joke about it. And then took it deeper. And I went to him and said, I don't know if it's the tism or not, man, but I don't know how to joke sometimes.
Yeah.
Which goes back to my personality, flaws or who I am. I don't know when to joke, and I don't know when Jared's serious half the time. And so
most of the time,
you can take that really wrong and go, Chris Brackett's just a horrible human, and go, no, I just am all business. I'm into my thing.
Yeah.
It's also why my farm is just, my wife's like, listen, dude, it's the tism. It's like everything's perfect. They're your dinosaurs. They're your Legos. They're your numbers or whatever. And what the conversation last night was literally me talking to Greg and him going, I would have made it humor. And I went, I don't have that. I'm funny, but it's a different.
Yeah.
I don't think you did anything wrong. I mean, I saw your post there. I mean, I didn't.
I'm just a human.
I guess I didn't even see the post.
He just made a post, said, hey, want to get out of this thing. This guy looks like me. No affiliation. That was basically the gist.
But I mean, definitely was trying to copy the model, right? Like, for sure. Was there, when you talked to him and whatever, over the phone or something, was he like, yeah, I really admire you? Like, was there an acknowledgement that there was some similarities here? He's like, I don't see it. It's not at all the same.
There definitely was. Like, he modeled it, and then
he had chops.
He did?
I don't know.
A little bit. He didn't have the super.
That would have done it for me. You're telling me you don't see this, and he's like, I don't see it, man. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I just came up with it on my own.
This is all me, bro.
He's got him just spray painted on the side of his face.
This is just me, bro. I'm just doing what I do.
It was, and I'll tell you what, it was Instagram back and forth, and I just literally said, like, listen, man, I'm a fallen, broken guy. This isn't the way. I just want separation. Like, if I were you, I'd just kind of do your own thing. And he just said, this works for me. This is where I'm at. It's good luck, whatever. And I went, I'm out. Like, that was my warning. Fast forward, indictment, federal stuff, $2, one tag. Wow. It's too. Yeah.
He read the playbook too close,
bro. It's too wild to not be real. And I just went like, oh crap. Fast forward, last night I do the post. I get a threat by a guy calling me from a non-caller ID, literally threatening me, slander and this and that. I'm like, whoa. I just tried to sue somebody for slander, and my lawyer literally said, because you're in the public eye and you have a TV show and da-da-da-da-da, yo, you're not Jay-Z. Jay-Z doesn't even sue people. Like, what? You have no case. This guy calls me, is like, even just because you put allegedly in the thing. I'm like, well, first off, he pled guilty.
Yeah.
Allegedly, I don't know the story is what I'm allegedly. Number two, if I want to say Donald Trump is copying me because he's wearing pants and impersonating me, that is not illegal. So I went ahead and educated him. I said, I'm sorry. Now, I don't think this is him, but I was told, I was threatened by a guy on a text last night that said that it's not him, and I don't know what I'm talking about, and da-da-da-da. And I just texted him back like, listen, the guy's going to come out better than before. I'm living proof of that if he's really copying my story. Number two, he did what he did. I've already paid my time. Don't make me pay for it again. You don't make, whatever, right? And so that was last night. But Greg was wild in the fact that he was just like, this guy talked to me for an hour and he didn't even mention it. And I'm like, I feel sorry for the guy. So I took down the post and I prayed for him all night. I really just wanted separation. I didn't want to have to relive it. And
yeah, dude, that's some trauma right there too. I mean, just even be like, I read the thing in the morning and then I didn't know who he was. So I went on YouTube and Like I said, I watched 30 seconds of it. Frankly, he does a decent production, so kudos to him on that. But like,
yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
Just
the character play in it was too much for me.
What was your like? Where were you coming from in wanting to like comment on it in the first place? Were you just worried that people would see him? And
my wife's exact question: "Where's your heart at, Chris?" Yeah. And I literally went like, when I saw it, and I'm looking at a picture of me, that like everything about it screams fear no evil. Look, remember arrow flexion,
including the face paint.
Dude, including
mainly the face paint.
Well, I mean,
other than the face paint,
it was face paint. It was like the rock style music of it.
I didn't watch the.
It was also like the dude's taking 100-yard shots on like every animal that he's killing.
Orange arrows. I mean, there's just, if you were to just look at it, it looked like another host of Fear No Evil. But realize that that's what happened with arrow affliction. I started arrow affliction. I made it for intermediate, prime media at the time, whatever, right? And then they wanted me to kind of sell out, and I just said no, right? Top show on the planet, year 3. They want me to sell out, and they said fine. Well, I said no, and they said we'll replace you. They got Brooks Johnson. They dressed him up as like me and threw him into the deal. He couldn't hold it. They got rid of him, and I bought the show back. Here's the same repeat, Fear No Evil. It goes off the air. I take it off the air. I get in trouble, whatever. It's like somebody put another dancing chicken on a grill, and there it is dancing again, and me going, no, you can't do this. And I'm like, hey, we have to have some separation, and then boom.
Yeah. But there is no, obviously, there's no affiliation. There's no nothing there, you know. Yeah, he's not calling it. Yeah.
Just sad for the situation of the guy. But like 5 years, no fishing, no nothing. Like big culture shock for him. I'll keep praying for him. Just a deal to where like I had a lot of people going, I can't believe you're posting this and whatever. I'm like, I can believe I'm posting it because it's super trauma. I could have left it alone, but I'd rather get out in front of it and say, this isn't me, no affiliation. This is not somebody that took over or whatever. And Sturgis was one of the first people that was like, good post. There, I commend you. I'm just not one to sit in the shadows and just go, meh.
No,
I've since deleted them, but I got threatened last night by this guy threatening me.
Oh, you deleted the post?
He's not him, but I believe they're from the same little group.
I'm sure. I mean, dude, this has ripple effects, right? I mean, I would assume that the show was being like, I don't know if ScentLock and those guys, that's who I saw like people, sponsors are paying them. Right. So that's going to stop. Dead. Gone. Like that, game over. If you were making money on YouTube, you probably will see a spike here because people are going to be like, ooh, who's this dude? Let me see what content he was making. But eventually dead, like gone. There'll be no content. Nobody will watch that stuff. So, I mean, whatever you were doing from a livelihood standpoint, you've been through it, right, Chris? Like you're down.
Yep.
You best figure something else out.
You're down and you have to start over and your life's over as you know it and whatever. So awesome.
For what?
It's not going to kill you. Like I've been through it. So if you're emulating or looking or inspired or whatever, it's not going to kill you. If you can use it for good, you can change your life. You can get married to your love of your life, whatever. The wildest part about the thing, man, was, so many of the fans on Fear No Evil are on my page on social media, my Chris Brackett Whitetail Equity page. There was a lot of people going like, how can you say he's impersonating you? And I'm just thinking to myself, well, look at it. Like it's my opinion. By the way, 2025, it's my opinion and it's my page that I believe. And I've had conversations with him that I don't want him to look like me because I don't think anybody should do that. There was a reason that it was really awesome, and then I screwed up and broke the law. I want to let that thing. Otherwise, I'd be wearing face paint right now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he knew what he was doing here. He saw the model. He saw that after your fall, nobody picked up the model and ran with it, right? Like so he saw an opportunity of like people like that. I could be that. Yeah.
And I wanted him to be his own person. I didn't know him, but I figured I'd reach out. I reached out. I'm not scared. And then, just a silly situation.
Yeah, it sucks.
But I mean, it kind of goes back to what, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know. I don't know where to take that or segue that from there, except for the fact that if you don't know what we're talking about, a guy got in trouble. He's sitting out. He emulated my business plan, model, whatever, on purpose, subconsciously, or otherwise.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
Same colors, same look, same thing, same what. Awesome. Thanks for the compliment of doing that. It got him to the same place that I did, which is the industry ate his ass up.
Ugh.
Industry ate him up. The expectations are too high. You end up poaching deer. You end up doing things that are illegal. And because you want to be out in front and out famous and whatever, you get your butt caught. So is it worth being a social media superstar, TV superstar, whatever, chasing deer? It's a target on your back, man.
Yeah. Hey,
right?
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Yeah. Don't do
That's
that.
an even better analogy than you realize right now, because he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know this from the other guys?
Oh, yeah, the other guys? Yeah.
You got to know that's a TLC reference. He's like, I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're like, dude, you got the chops and everything. He's like, I don't see it. I'm not sure.
Hey, what was his name? What was Will Ferrell's name in that?
Gator.
Gator.
That's what he went by,
Yeah, Gator.
Gator don't take no shit.
Yeah, Gator. Yeah, it's
Okay,
a messy situation, man. It sucks.
Yeah.
On
An hour and 23 minutes in. How's the farms looking, dude? Mine are. I'm good. I'm ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, man, we're in good shape too. We are not in the situation that you are in, needing fences. We, from a food plot standpoint, there are no deer in our food plots.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
in Illinois.
In Illinois.
Yeah.
So-
If you were to say,
Yeah, they don't
we were
exist.
if we were to back it up like we first started, if guys are still listening or whatever,
They're
it
still
is,
listening.
our life is, but besides our wives, right? It is deer, it is land, and it is making that land that we either own or lease the best that it can be. And I call it whitetail equity.
Mm-hmm.
You guys look at it the same way. We sell land, we develop that land to the best of our abilities and make and create equity. And that equity is either in what the land looked like, the landscape, ponds, buy a new property to develop it right now. And you guys are doing the same. What is your overall vision? Kentucky, own land. You guys own land, Kentucky, Ohio, Pennsylvania,
and Illinois.
and then Illinois. How do you manage all that? Because me with 2 farms and then Kirk's farms, I'm tapped, and I do it every day while selling land and developing land in between, running around the country for 4 months doing consults and then teaching those clients all throughout the year. What do you think is the hardest part about managing all of that? Because I find myself, even when making it beautiful and awesome and everything, I find myself soul searching to go like, do I really do all of this just for the deer? Or do I do it like my friend Nathan's like, why are you working every day so hard? And I'm like, well, I've kind of switched from doing client farms to my own stuff. And I feel that I'm just in this season where it is simply educating and building my knowledge to then help people. Like I don't want to be anybody's hero anymore, but I love doing videos and content and talking on here and doing Brackett Show podcast and whatever to educate people. And that's what I find myself in this little hamster wheel right now of doing it to my farm, helping you guys, and then trying to help other people. But I don't want them to idolize what I'm doing. I'm really sensitive to that.
Well, it's definitely
There's a lot.
it's definitely a different lifestyle in that, the kinds of
first lifestyle.
Well, in that the real estate that we sell here in Pennsylvania is not nearly to the level of like a recreational that, yours is out in Illinois. So like as cool as it seems like that, that would be sweet to be fully ingrained in, and like the farms that we're dealing in on a daily basis are potential, candidates for our own or friends or whatever. We're plugged into it in that way. We're very removed from it from that sense. Like the properties that we're selling around here are for development of residential housing. They are luxury homes on acreage that certainly we appreciate. We think they're beautiful, but it's not like they're not selling because
No.
they have 180-inch deer on them.
It's a method to the madness. We sell those so that we can go out and buy land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and so when it comes to managing the farms, it's a much more coordinated attack. It's not just we wake up and we're in it. It's I've busted my butt in working to clear out this time in the schedule, so I have 8 hours to go and get the spraying done today. I'm going to do it all in one day. So that's
the biggest flaw,
Yeah.
right? Is like, we talked about weeds, whether that was on the podcast or off the podcast, we were not there to be able to see it and do it as we can.
Well, it requires a lot more networking. So like in Illinois specifically, that's what we've got, you and Caden and the Ag Service, anybody that we can like tie into our network to help us out on top of our coordinated events. It just takes a lot more of that. And the reality is we are not going to have as much, micro management, to the level where we might if it was in our backyard. It just isn't that way.
Yeah, I can't just ditch out for 2 hours tonight and go spray switch.
For better or
switch.
for worse. It also translates, like we talked in the beginning, into like understanding the DNA. The DNA of our farm is that nobody's ever on it. Dogs run it once a month, and Carl's there at the house. But other than that, so we understand like, hey, even come season, we got to tread lightly. We got to treat it that way. It's not like, oh, it's fine if tractors are just running around this farm, because they aren't. But also maybe, and I'm arguing with myself here, there are no deer. There's no shooters on it right now either. So we could probably go on it right now, and it's not going to hurt anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're not there.
So
yeah,
I love that. I love just in the 3 years that we've become friends and me listening to the pod and catching snippets on everything, the advancements that you guys have made, like Jared's really into the chemicals and finding all those out and whatever, and the switchgrass and watching it take and whatever. I sit back like as a proud big brother or whatever in that thing. And I'm sure there's a time where I'll be like, Jeremy, what do I do as far as marketing? And, Jared, I'm like, what is
kind of ice cream
specialty?
flavor should I get?
Yeah.
Hey, how
should
do I
I
do
pick
ice
up?
cream?
Should I pick up this big weight or this big weight?
There you go.
Let's go. It's one of those things where like I watch and go, I don't know if they know how far they've gotten in 3 years.
Yeah.
But like you guys are on the fast track and educating hundreds of thousands of people as you learn, and it's awesome. So keep doing the farm companion, or it's almost hunt companion.
Yeah, it's farm companion right now. Hunt companion in September.
Yeah.
I think you guys need told, like, as you learn it, these guys are learning it, and if anybody's listening, it may sound really confusing when you go back and forth, chlorophyll, borophyll, quinclorac, like all of them. But if you stay in the game and keep listening, it'll all start making sense. And then watching all of our socials and their posts or whatever, like a lot of things you guys say, if people watch on my social, Chris Brackett's Whitetail Equity, like they can see that I got pictures of the XLR8, the drive stuff, and AMS and things that we can legally buy, and then other stuff. A lot of these chemicals that we talk about, just call a nutrient or call your local chemical place, and they can come apply them and things like that. It's like I think that's where there's some guys out there that are unbelievable at controlling some of these weeds. And a lot of people are like, well, what about your water hemp with your concoction? Did it work in your beans?
I haven't got into see if they're completely dead or not. They definitely are below the beans.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's a win for this year. Whether or not it totally is taking care of them or not, I don't know.
So what they did was close rows. It's called closing rows. And if they close rows and kind of starved out that water hemp, it'll be interesting to see if you go dive in there, if they produce seeds or not. Because all you're trying to do is not get them to produce seeds and kind of sterilize themselves out. Because I don't know if you can actually kill the plant. You can set it back for a year.
So, and mine is mare's tail, just to clarify what I'm dealing with. Yep. And what's a little concerning is like I am dealing with it in a few different spots, really in that region of the farm. I went out and sprayed. It's funny. You'll appreciate this. So when it comes to chemical, I have you and I have Skip
or Sly,
and you're on completely opposite spectrums. Where, as we know, with Skip, there is always an answer. You know what I mean? There's always an answer, and it's here you go, and there's a long explanation. On your end, it's like nope, you're screwed. There's no answer. There's no answer. So I balance you guys out somewhere in between. I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna try this. So the clover plots that I had that I wanted to convert into brassicas this year, I ended up spraying those with a 2 quarts per acre of Gly and about 10 ounces per acre of 2,4-D is what I did. And so which is a lesser than recommended dose. I just wanted to limit the residual so that I could drill brassicas. Go ahead. You got a question?
Did you say clover?
Yeah.
Did you say clover?
Yeah.
Oh, so you went ahead and killed your slashes in the clover, or killed the whole thing?
Killed the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. In an effort, I wanted it to be a brassica plot.
Yeah. Okay. So you had a clover, you frost seeded it, or last year, whatever clover, kept it maintained, awesome.
Yes.
Clethodim, butyrate, and then you're flipping it over to brassicas, right?
Not clethodim, butyrate, Gly, and 2,4-D.
Oh, so you didn't do cleth and butyrate early?
Nope.
In the year. So this is the first one. You did a Gly burn down with a 2,4-D.
It was brassicas last year. Yep. And then I frost seeded clover. So it was first year.
Yeah.
It was clover in the meantime. So then just 3 weeks ago, maybe I went and did Gly 2,4-D. Okay.
Do you use a tiller?
Nope.
Or is it too rocky?
Nope, it's not too rocky. I know where you're going with this because I know what you like to do. But hear me out here. Killed that clover, toasted it, looked good.
Smoked it.
That mare's tail started coming back strong. Like it didn't take care of it, which it surprised me.
Do you think the clover was suppressing it, and when you killed the clover, the mare's tail exploded?
Yeah.
Well,
whether it was suppressing it or
that's probably. I mean, that's what happens in a lot of those cases.
Yeah. So I had some.
It's just those two particular. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, you will one day. Mare's tail or water hemp are the two nastiest things on the planet. And there are things out there that these guys are spraying, like a Callisto and things like that we could never get our hands on, that are killing it in corn and what their burn down rate is and things like that. But yeah, so you did exactly what I would have done the last 2 years. And now I'm either, and technically I can't tell anybody to do this, but let's say if I was to contract Trevor Nelson at Nutrient to come spray my stuff, he would spray Liberty and AMS with Gly and kill everything.
Yeah, nuke it all. And it's one of the only ways to kill it now. So the game is changing. I don't know what's going to be prosumer, right? Yeah.
Prosumer or licensed stuff. And we have to be particular about that because that again is tough with legalities and things like that. Like they're really strict.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a real thing that you're talking about with the mare's tail. So like the only thing you can do is like you can either torch it again or you can try to rip it up by its roots.
If you sprayed Liberty on it right now, does that have a residual?
0.
So this is where you and Skip had a different answer. This is where I balance it out. You said Liberty has 0 residual effect. Skip seems to think that it does for about a month or so.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's right. So I
am. Don't go chasing waterfall. I'm just telling you what Nutrient said to me that sells chemicals for a living, that you can kill it with Liberty, no residual.
Yep.
Now, there are different kinds of Liberties. There's like a 480 LS type thing. Or whatever.
Okay. See, that's what I'm finding out
probably.
here. There's different kinds of 2,4-D also.
That's it. Ultra something is what Trevor sprayed on mine.
Yep.
And he's a professional with a license. That's what he does. Yeah. I watch him. I just sit there and watch him do it.
Is Liberty a license one? You can't.
Yeah, it's a rough one. She's a naughty one.
That's what, because like I've got not as much mare's tail as Jared has. I have some. I would spot spray it if I could use something to just 100%. Go in it.
Well, listen to this, dude. There's different kinds of 2,4-D too, which I didn't realize either.
Yeah, solvent free.
Well,
one of them drifts a lot. One of them doesn't. I know that. So one of them is like starts with a D.
Is there a percent concentration that's different in them?
There is an LV6.
Yeah.
That's the solvent free. That's the white stuff, I think.
That's the good stuff. That's not what I have. I have
You have the red
2,4-D amine,
yeah.
which is like
Now,
for lawns.
Yeah, it's like Roundup.
You would use like amine, and if you mix, on the let's say you oopsed and heavier sided that, or put an AMS or a really great crop oil kind of thing, you're totally fine.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between the two that I've noticed from the experts is one of them drifts a lot more. Okay, so those can make little variances. What did we discuss? That water stabilizer and the non-drift stuff we were talking about earlier in the year?
Yeah, there's
I'm looking into all of those, like this AMS and all these. There's these new kind of things that are coming out that just make the chemical more potent that gets through the waxy leaves on the water hemp.
Well, it's like
those are making a big difference.
turbo with Glide. I don't know. I used to just use Glide. Like I didn't know you need to mix anything, and now it's like use turbo. It like puts it on steroids. Okay. Here's
a new one for you. I think it's pronounced Dura something. I want to say Duraquat.
Duracell.
Durka.
Oh, here it is. Duracore.
Dicamba.
Duracore.
I've heard of that.
I don't think I can buy it and apply it, but I do know that some of my big clients, when recommending the switch, he was smashed with broadleafs, and he hired Early Bird to come out and spray Duracore on everything to smash the water hemp and whatever. Now, I don't know what it allows besides that, but clearly it is a zero grass killer. I have not paid any of the Julie's, Walter Ag's, nutrient license.
That's who we heard it from. Julie brought up Duracore. That's something we're like, I don't know.
Yeah, so Duracore would be broadleaf stuff, and I am waiting right now on Sean Webb to tell me he scheduled it with them, and they came out like an hour before a rain and spread and he's got like 20 acres of switch. It's awesome. And he planted Shelter, which is a really short one, and it's going to be really cool. I took care of the front field, and I sprayed it like I would spray it, and then we had them come in and spray the Duracore and the quinclorac and maybe an atrazine. No, they couldn't spray atrazine because they did atrazine early, and the rain essentially washed it away. So he had so many broadleafs come in there, and they're a Duracore situation. So I'll have a report on that for next year.
That'd be a good one.
Here's mine.
2,4-D is not killing it. It's just turning it down. Because I sprayed 2,4-D the other day on my water hemp and mare's tail. It turned it down, but it did not kill it. And I did it two ways. I mowed a whole bunch on my outsides that had switchgrass growing, and then I sprayed a bunch that I'll mow it later. And I want to see which one. Either way, I'm just trying to keep it from seeding. And then next spring, we'll do the spring concoction to kick the crap out of the little guys before the warm season guys wake up, which was our discussion yesterday where we were arguing. Jeremy, this joker here, we were trying to explain the fact
this dude was smoking meth the other day.
That switchgrass, I told him is like a little person under the ground, and he just gets older, and he grows his hair faster than this. He was like, well, don't they both grow at the same time? And I'm like, well, yeah, foxtail seed.
No. Here's what we could.
And then annually explodes.
Here's what we couldn't tease apart was he was like explaining switchgrass, and I'm getting the knowledge. I'm understanding what he's saying, but the question that I have is because I'm like, hey, do you ever mow your switchgrass to get it to a manageable level so that you can take care of weeds, broadleaves inside of it, specifically mare's tail, and what we could not tease apart was I was saying, hey, switchgrass regrows from the stem, the ground level every year, correct? As opposed to the stems that are above ground, they don't just come re-alive. And he freaking would not answer my question.
I couldn't understand.
To this day, doesn't understand what I'm asking.
I think he breathed in too many chemicals yesterday.
Because you're gonna.
That is possible.
You're burning off. You could burn off the top. It's not like it's still there, and you still get new growth coming out.
Yeah, it dies and regrows every year.
And the answer to your question, now that we may have both breathed in too many chemicals yesterday, was you have less surface area to suck into poison. So if you kick the crap out of these big, beautiful leaves that's just collectors of poison herbicide, if you kick them down and they only got these little shoots,
Yeah.
It has less
Again,
surface area to
that
suck
makes
in the
sense, but it's not the answer to
And
that
that broke
question.
me
So that's
yesterday.
about the sixth answer he's given me that does not answer that
You
question.
broke me. You broke me. I couldn't get it.
And that's okay. I love
Chemicals will do that.
you regardless. I did probably breathe in a lot. I could tell this pollen.
Dude, I think
I bought a gas mask the other day.
Did you?
Yeah,
Good for
or
you.
a mask.
I think
I've
what.
been masking up big time.
Yeah. No more cancer.
Yeah. HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Bushnell.
Man, what an iconic brand. I mean, I vividly remember growing up, it seemed like every serious deer hunter had a Bushnell pair of binoculars or a Bushnell rifle scope. You knew that those guys were serious about what they were about to go with if they were packing the Bushnell stuff.
No doubt, man. I remember bone collector guys and so many others that we've respected over the years. It's always been like your grandpa's rifle scope. And since then, obviously, they've developed so many great products. We're rocking the R series of binoculars this year. I believe it's the R5 10x42s. Those have been awesome. We took those to TAC a couple weeks ago, along with the Broadhead rangefinder. It's got a ton of technology packed into it for angles and and for bow hunters ultimately. So that's been awesome.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things, we've talked about this with a lot of the brands we're working for, is we want high quality gear that's affordable. And that's exactly what Bushnell's trying to position here. They want to make really good gear that anyone that's serious about deer hunting can afford. And so most of those R5 series binos that we're talking about are under $300 for unbelievable glass.
No doubt. And so for right now, you can use code HUNTR, HUNTR, to get a discount on the Bushnell website. That's bushnell.com.
What were you saying, Jeremy?
I think one thing you were talking about, like, the other things of like, hey, what are you finding on these farms? The one for me, and I guess probably my Kentucky one's been the best kind of educator so far, is and I don't have it, which is why it makes it interesting, is patience, because I have zero patience. I don't have anything. I'm not an all-day sitter. I don't do any of that stuff, right? I'm hungry at 9:30. I go eat breakfast, have a coffee, take a nap. I'm in I guess this will be my third fall with that property, technically.
Illinois.
No, in Kentucky.
Oh,
Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah, or third fall.
It's our third fall in Illinois, so.
Yes. And so, yeah, I guess it's about the same, because I got it
same
late.
year?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, same. And so it's, when I got that farm, I didn't have a deer. I had maybe one picture of a deer that was a 4-year-old, but like the home bodies of that farm no deer was over 3. And there also were not many deer at all. I mean, I planted corn that year and brassicas, and dude, there were, I don't know if I saw a deer on a hunt the entire year in the fields.
And you said no does the other day on a
Oh,
pod.
dude,
You
like
were saying
none.
zero.
Like
They just leave.
gone. Yeah, or they don't exist. Like one of the two. Last year, in fact, I saw a group of 6 adult does, no fawns, none with them. But I still have bucks every year. Like I still have 1-year-olds show up every year. And so I had talked to my neighbor about like how he was saying, there's more deer. And I noted like this year, so not all, and my cameras are not running nearly as full steam as they will be in the next week or two. But I would say that I have four bucks that are 4 years old. I've watched since they were 1. They haven't died.
I love that.
I've watched them every year. In fact, one, and he's not anything great. He's just a 4-year-old, like big, tall 8-point. I have sheds off of him every year, and it's like when he was 1, he was like one of 5 bucks, like 5 that I saw on 300 acres. There were no more than 5 bucks on 300 acres, and now I probably have 12 to 15, in 3 years. And I've planted food, and I haven't killed a deer on that property yet. We have not killed a single deer on that property yet. We won't kill a doe. I did finally the other day see does and fawns, which was like, holy shit, there's fawns. Like they're alive. They lived. But it's weird to see that. And even still, and I have 1 6-year-old on property. He's a piece of shit, but I have one. But next year, even if they don't all make it, let's say 2, like I could have 2 5-year-olds that made it that I've watched since I've had the property, and they'll be substantial 5-year-olds.
And my greatest accomplishment was exactly right now what you're experiencing. those 5 years, 3 of them I sat out, right, with my farm that I left stuff on there, whatever. And then the 4th year I didn't hunt. And then the 5th year is when, well, the 4th year I had 2 bigger deer to the 2 big 180s I killed. But I still had these super potential, I don't know, 4-year-old deer that then turned 5. And then I killed him, and I grew him from, like you're saying, the first year. And that was the most, that was the, I don't know, that was the coolest moment of my whole deer world. Everything I've ever done is growing those things, like you're saying, not killing them, watching the fawns that are now dropping, that have everything that you're now seeing every day, and let them drop fawns. And like, if Jared, if you're saying the DNA of a farm that you buy is the DNA of it, what do you guys describe that as? Because to me, that is building that whitetail equity, that deer equity in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in the, to use the,
how do we convince people that's everything?
Yeah.
Well, and it's possible too. I mean, so to use the DNA analogy, I don't think that means like what a farm is what it has to be forever. Like clearly, you built a herd there, you know what I mean? And it had the lack of or whatever, to the efforts that you were putting into it allowed for it to develop.
It had too much pressure. There are people just hunting it because the landowner didn't live there, and he probably didn't really care who hunted it because he wasn't a hunter. And it was old pasture, so there was no real food source. Like those were the two things that immediately I kicked everybody off. We haven't killed anything on it, and I have 15 acres of food on it now.
Yeah.
The first one is going to be so sweet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You put a little CRISPR action in there. You went in and changed the DNA of that farm.
Yeah. And I would say from a DNA side, much like my Ohio one, is like I have a lot of summer bucks on there. And so opening weekend of Kentucky, first week of September, that week is one of the better time frames on there so far. And I'm not saying it's always going to be like this, because I'm constantly changing food and figuring things out. I do have a lot of those bucks disperse come end of September and not come back until last year. It was almost January, where like honestly what I think it is people start putting out corn piles because it's baiting, and they have corn piles. Gun season ends, and they're like, oh, where are we going back for food? Oh, he's got standing corns and beans.
Well, dude, it's amazing how much you really can change a farm. I've really noticed it in the past 2 to 3 years as the scale of our projects has grown. I use Illinois because Chris has seen there and done it with us too. It's like go from year 1 where we had very little food, if any,
and little cover,
very little cover because all
mowed
the
down the cover,
CRP had been mowed that year.
Certain spots, and you killed them.
That's right. To, we had a year in between a transition where we started to add some food to now year 3, and we haven't seen it unfold here yet, but we have, I mean, at a landscape level, I mean, even discount the other CRP fields that we let go, just the ones that we focused on. We've got 30 more acres of CRP, 5 to probably 7 standing acres of grain at the end, plus those other plots, plus all the other switch stuff that we did. I mean, I think that's a 180 from where it was to 3. I think this year, from a habitat standpoint, from a food standpoint, like those are real tangible changes that will impact us this year.
And I mean, we're not there yet, but we're patterning that. Interesting enough, per the DNA of the farm, like that doesn't seem like, I don't necessarily think opening weekend we can go there and kill a shooter buck.
Yeah, right.
Like they just don't.
There's not there.
There's not there.
Yeah,
it is more of a rut and later season farm, for sure.
And that's just the DNA, I think, of the area. I think that they just have like summer locations that
I agree.
They're lost at sea is how I describe it out there.
Where other farms, like my Ohio farm right now has, dude, I couldn't tell you, 45, 50 different bucks on that farm. Yeah. And they'll leave.
Acorn drops, will they get more?
No, they'll
less. They disperse.
They'll go. So like that first week or two. Ohio, my southern Ohio, but very similar, Chris, like mountainous pasture ground. Like nobody's doing food plots. Everybody's just putting corn piles out. So and I just had this big timber cut 2 years ago. So like my food is off the charts. They're all summering there right now, and they'll be there probably through the first week or 2 of the season. And then as the acorns really start raining down in the big woods, they just start spreading out. which is fine.
Here's what to look for if you like running back what the farm looks like right now. Was the north field on the neighbor's corn this year or beans?
It was on beans this year.
It's beans, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be corn potentially this year.
Here's one to write down. And so probably put it on our to-do list in Illinois for your stuff is, because I know I do it. The most success I've had the first week of October is either alfalfa or the south side of a bean field will be the shaded area that's not getting smoked by the sun. South side of the bean fields will have the last green in them, and that's where I normally find a group of hard-horned, I'm going to live together, we're not going to fight bucks for that first 2 weeks. And so, like, if I'm going to set up a camera, I'm trying to think where that's at.
It's going to be the pinch is where it's going to get less shade down in that bottom.
Right. And it could easily be right there on that hillside.
Absolutely.
And come right there, but he's only moving 100 yards.
Yeah.
And so, like, if you did have one do it, that's where you kind of got to go, okay, he's going to do it. Or if across the field that was beans and those trees blocked it.
Yeah.
In that bottom, but I can't remember if they put that back. They could cross right there.
You know what's interesting, Chris? I wonder if we'll see that on the north side of our bean field that we planted right by the barns there.
Yes.
Here's why I'm suspecting that.
Yes.
When they took pictures, I didn't see it in person, but on top where it got a lot of sun, there was less weeds, and the beans look really good. The north side where it angles down, the beans were not growing as fast, and the weeds were catching them. So I got to believe that side is going to stay green longer as well.
Do you want to know a mad scientist way to keep those beans green?
Sure.
Okay, it's a really cool thing. Like, you drive by a Walmart parking lot when you're out here, whatever, and as they're turning, if you can change, and this is where the biologist over here will know, if you can change the light from the street lights, if you could have Carl go out there and turn on some big lights pointing on that side of the field right there, it'll change as probably photosynthesis or whatever. Because beans go down by the sunlight of the days. And every time I drive by Walmart out here in Morton or whatever, the big giant street lights on those bean fields, wherever that light shines on them, they'll stay green as long as you want. So they don't have a lifespan. So, like, you could literally
any kind of light.
Solar. You could put solar lights in a field and light up those beans, and those beans will stay green for like 500 days.
I'm just gonna have Carl go out there with a damn flashlight.
Well, it's right by the barn. I mean, we could easily mount a light to that.
There is one out there by the barn, over towards Carl's though.
That's exactly how you keep them green.
How do you think that affects the usage? Like, while that light's on,
they just stay in their little. I'm not a super farmer, but
I bet it doesn't mess with them that bad, especially if there's not human activity paired with that light being there.
Right.
Eventually, it's there every night. It becomes a constant fixture.
Do you eventually just turn that off? Like, when season comes in, you're like, okay.
Yeah, after you shoot. Oh,
I don't know. I don't have crazy people to talk about my crazy theories with.
Yeah.
You just hunt longer.
Hey, that's as legal as it gets right there.
What's that? That's the sun's still up.
That's the sunshine.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
It's UV. Don't worry about it.
It's solar powered.
Like, the things you pay attention to, like when you got those.
That'd be an Amish trick right there. You can shoot a deer under a light as long as it's solar powered. Solar powered light.
It's like using the snow.
It's like using the sun's light. It's just delaying it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that
makes sense. Photosynthesis would make sense to keep those things longer.
It's really neat, and like I just noticed it, and I started kind of asking farmer questions, and then like my buddy Royce is like, "Oh, well, beans just you can have group 1, group 5 bean, whatever that is, but they trigger by the hours of sunlight and the heat units."
Yeah, which we are on the decrease already, right? Like we're past the longest day at this point. Like we're heading down. In fact, is it August? One of them, it's like we lose 10 or 15 minutes like a day here pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. I'm ready for some shorter days.
Yeah.
Well, when the foxtail is out and everything starts throwing seeds,
it's out right now, Chris. Over here. Yeah.
that's on the backside, and then it feels like it's like just screaming downhill.
Well, right now our clover's screaming for some of those cool nights because that heat is toasting it. Even with moisture, it's just not liking it.
Yeah, you got a lot of rain, so it's keeping it going. I actually mowed mine. I never mow mine in the summer, and I actually mowed mine because we had so much water. And now, yeah, it just needs some 50 degrees. But I looked for next week, man, 50 degrees at night, 50 something, 50.
Yeah, they'll like that a lot better than the 75s and 95s. That's for sure.
But to go back to the Illinois Sea, what do you call it? Sea of Ag? They get
Lost at sea
or whatever.
Yeah.
So it is 100% all like thinking. All clients across Illinois and all my friends or whatever are like, I don't have any deer. I don't have any bucks. And I'm like, well, I can tell you right now that the minute the crops went in, well, I got friend Eric Kraft and Trevor Nelson and them, and they farm. When I say farm acres, I'm talking about like 10,000 Illinois acres above us up there in Stark and above Knox. And I want to say they had beans in March.
That's what he told us. What was the guy's name again? I talked to him.
Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor, but Kraft is my buddy Eric Kraft.
Damn.
He had beans,
As in
treated beans that they put in March, bro.
Yeah.
So
I told Jeremy that he didn't believe me.
Yeah, I just thought it was too cold.
I'll get more detail, but that's who. So that they gave me a bunch of plot beans to try and whatever, but I couldn't believe they had so much left over because they didn't have any replants because everything came up. But it was like a cold, wet, and that's what that treated part of the seed is for. It's like it's cold and wet and sits in that ground. But they went, let's try it. And they went in there in March and put it in. I think I want to say it was March 28th. Something just
crazy,
completely stupid. And so they put it in, and so you got to think, even at a group 2-7 or a 3 bean, which is but anybody doesn't know, just a little education is like the higher the number in the group, the longer days it can grow. The shorter is like if you're doing wheat and you cut the wheat and you plant in June or July, you can get a 1.5 bean, which will grow short, but they have a shorter, faster growing. And I think some of these bean blends have different groups in there, and that's how sense. If you're ever wanting to do that, that's how you make a better bean blend, is putting all these beans together. But so I experimented with like 2s and 3s and different things like that. But that is why these deer are so spread out, is that these crops came up so fast. And they've been feeding on beans, and the alfalfa has had who knows how many cuttings, and there has been more browse and more growth and more everything than you've ever seen before in a state like Illinois. Like, I went out to the new property and I'm driving around still doing stuff. I do not have bachelor groups. I have bucks standing separated everywhere.
Interesting.
Or in like twosomes. They're not in these big groups. I don't know if that's and that's a discussion. I don't know if that's a social thing. I don't know if that's the new wave of deer we have in 2025, but they're not in these super duper bachelor groups. And I'll bet now that I bring that up, if we get any feedback on the pages or whatever, I'll bet people are noticing the same thing, that now take that in. So that's intel from me watching these idiots in my yard and on the farms and manicured things. If that is happening across the state, now add in a dry August EHD. It's going to happen somewhere.
Yeah.
If they're spread out, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I think it's a good thing.
Yeah. No, it probably would be a good thing. I mean, we've been talking about it with some of these older bucks that they're just loners. Like even right now, like maybe it's 2 5-year-olds together, but most of the time, if you've got a bunch of 3 and 4-year-olds and like one older buck, like I just see him. I do have. Like in Kentucky, I've got that 4-year-old 8-point I was talking about is hanging out with that 6-year-old. They're together all the time.
Lots of twosomes.
Yeah, but nobody else with them. I've got like a trio of 3-year-olds together. I've got one 3-year-old 11-point, which looks really nice in Kentucky, and he's just like by himself, like just by himself.
Chilling.
Yeah, just chilling. Like I don't know. He just doesn't like to play well with others. I'm not sure.
Did you see I think it's Dr. Deer. You guys know him, right?
Yeah, Kroll. Yeah, we had him on.
Yeah, Kroll. Okay, so here was 5 minutes ago before we got on the podcast. Here's the most relevant thing that the new Illinois direction, despite advances in our understanding ecological of, the chronic wasting disease or whatever, he has a new post on here that says like, we failed. Wisconsin slaughtered 120,000. And so there's some movement in Illinois stuff that Jeremy, you might want to look into, that I know that some people were putting some stuff together to go after the Illinois DNR or the politicians or whatever they were trying to do to slaughter all the animals. I know there's been some resistance, and I think he's reporting on it a little bit.
Well, dude, it's going to be battles because now that it's like the DNR's got their own mindset.
What I read earlier was no on sharpshooters, at least.
Yeah, which is good.
That's better. I mean, if they're going to let sharpshooters, let us all shoot sharpshooters.
But what I think you're going to see here is
sharpshooters to longer
more tags, longer seasons, like all of that, because the Farm Bureau is now saying we need to reduce it not only for deer damage, but there's this chronic wasting disease that also is density dependent. And as soon as that like united front came together, where DNR is like, we want to kill deer, and Farm Bureau is like, that's funny, we want to kill deer. I mean,
and Jared's like, I want to kill a deer, but it's got to be with a bow.
Yeah, it's a big lose situation. I will talk about this once because I took some shit on it the other day, but I really don't care. Have you guys seen this EHD defense thing that's gone out?
Yeah, I remember part of our business, Herman Brothers Fisheries, is water and muck removal and all this stuff.
You know exactly what it is then, right?
I do, but I haven't gone after. I don't know enough about it to get.
Oh, dude, I went right for the jugular because I've been buying Air Max products.
I want you to tell me about it because I don't know what about it. But when I looked at it, I went, okay, well, at HB we sell muck remover, we sell
the same stuff,
chemicals, all the stuff.
Yeah, I've been using it.
You can go there right now and buy it and buy fish and whatever.
Yeah.
And I went, what is this stuff? Because I'm going to go there and get it.
It's the same thing. Same. Yeah, I mean, there's three main products, right? And so I buy from it's a company called Air Max. I don't know, like it's just what I buy, but same thing. There's a muck remover, right?
That was with an A, right? AGR.
Yeah. And then there's a beneficial bacteria pack, right? And then there's one product called Eco Boost, which is essentially a phosphate binder, right? Because you get these phosphates that build up in ponds and stuff, and the water clarity, and even if you have good dissolved oxygen, the nutrient buildup basically is unhealthy for the fish. So it binds to the nutrients, takes it down to the bottom, clears your water up. Those are your three products.
We have clarify. So we have a clarifier.
Yep, that's the beneficial bacteria.
Okay.
Yep, and you have the muck remover. Yep. And then one's a nutrient binder.
5 other ones, and then we have buckets of stuff that we can put in there, and like. Because all these guys are the fish biologists, and we do lakes and ponds and whatever at Herman Brothers Fisheries. And so like we sell it. And then when this came out, if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, this EHD defense. And I went, I think that's what we already sell.
It is.
So it's been on the market. And now is that a new company?
Yeah, it's a new company, and I think he's pond management. And listen, I'm not saying so. First
why
of all,
did you take shit for this, and for
well, because I was just like, I've been using this stuff. It's not. This isn't treating EHD in the midges, right? This is a water.
What he's saying, Jared, is, hey, guess what? This isn't a magic bean.
No,
this has been out here. The ones that have been playing with ponds, that we own ponds or build ponds or reestablish ponds, or like. Slide just made 3 ponds into one and whatever. It's like, this is what
we've been
doing. Okay. Cool to take it to the deer market, but it's not new magic beans.
And it has nothing to do with the midge itself or the larva in the mud flats, right? Like this is a water treatment product. Like the muck at the bottom of a pond, right, isn't a mud flat where there's larva for midges in it, which is what's causing EHD, right? As water resides, right, and all that mud flat starts to show, the larvae are down in those mud flats. No treatment to the water at that point is going to affect those midges.
Can it when it's above?
No, because it's in the mud flat itself. This is a muck remover would be like if I had dead fish float to the bottom, it's helping it decompose at the bottom.
Yeah, but I bought an acorn cruncher one time.
Hey, that shit works. You don't talk about that.
So, you see what I'm saying? There, it's like
yeah. So are you guys saying it doesn't work?
Yeah, it's not an EHD defense.
Why? How can he sell it as an EHD defense then? What attributes of it is he claiming are beneficial?
Just pure, cleaner water, less bacteria, less larvae in the water. But the mosquitoes are in water, right? Mosquito larvae. This midge is not live in water. It lives in mud.
Okay.
Itself.
So I'm not educated enough to it. I just know what Jeremy's saying about like we sell this, we do this, but this for the health of the fish, right? And then I saw it in this EHD defense stuff, and then what Jeremy's saying is that he's saying he doesn't believe, right? If we get this right, you don't believe that it helps or it doesn't help to the greatest amount.
No, I don't think it helps. I don't think it helps at all. No.
And then do we have them prove that, or do we see that come out, or is that just a topic we watch? Or
well, I mean, think about it this way. Like you got earth ponds or whatever. Jared uses tubs for water things. If I put that in there, is there EHD coming out of your tub? No, there's no mud. There's no mud flat.
No, not until some type of mud was created, and if these idiots keep putting mud in there from their feet, there will be one day.
Yeah, but there's no mud flat to reside from because it's in a tub, right? So if I just continue to treat the tub, like I've got cleaner water, maybe I don't have mosquito larvae or anything like that, but it's not the Colocoides midge that causes EHD lives in mud flats. It hatches from mud flats. It comes out. So it's not, you can't treat the deep mud flat to prevent this midge that's already living and the eggs and the larvae are down in there. Just can't do it. And especially in any kind of man-made water hole because there is no mud flat in there.
Do you think there would be some sort of like insecticide that they can use for the midge?
Or does that come next? Or
maybe, from a treatment to the mud flats, possibly. I mean, then you start getting into toxicology.
There's got to be some, like they're burrowing down through the mud, right?
Yes.
The midges. So I mean, I assume some sort of insecticide could penetrate those pores.
I will say I saw in no knock to Lee, Lee had this guy out on his property because I think they had some dead deer in their ponds already.
McCoskey?
Yep.
He did?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Interesting.
And
he's been doing a ridiculous program.
Sure.
Yeah. It's surprising to hear that, actually.
Yeah, and so what I did see and I don't think one of Lee's guys did it, is it wasn't an earth pond, but they had a pond built, and the guy put gravel on the sides basically to prevent mud flats. I think that's beneficial for sure. But nothing you put into that man-made pond with the water will rid you of the midge for EHD. It just can't. They don't live there. They're not existing in the pond there.
I've been pretty I don't know, controversial earlier or whatever, this and that. So my challenge, I guess, to the EHD defense people, we're just consumers.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't know crap. Okay. So if there's more, don't just woo me with an ad. Teach me.
Yeah, teach me.
Teach me. You got all year. Teach me. We're going to have some people out there listening that's going to try it and whatever and this and that.
That's what I don't want, Chris. I don't want people to go out and buy this silver bullet and throw it in their Jeff Sturgis water hole or their earth pond or whatever, or their regular pond, and just be like, boy, I'm not going to have to worry about EHD this year. That ain't going to happen. It is not a silver bullet to fix that. I love those. I'm not saying, I assume they're the same products, but the Air Max products, dude, my ponds looked great up until we just hit 95 degrees all the time. But they look great. My water clarity was great. My fish were great. Like everything, they work really good for that side. I do have hatches still coming out of that pond, right? Yeah. Because not all of the bugs live in the water column. They live in the actual mud and in the bottom. Then they hatch, and that's why trout are on the top of the water eating all the bugs.
So I just dyed my pond, and I eye-moxed my
there you go
and everything around the outside. So that's new for me. Mm-hmm. So I guess if these guys are on this thing, great that they're going after this.
It's the mud flat though.
We just don't want people to think it's a magic bullet, right?
No, and it's the mud flat. Like you can't treat these larvae that are buried into the mud flat of these areas. You can't do it. EHD, I'm not saying that there isn't something out there that could fix it, because to your point,
you need like an atrazine for these bugs, like something that while the water level is high will coat the
only
mud
thing that
and
ever
they just
worked,
can't come up through it.
And we did this in Mississippi State. This was 12 years
Make
ago.
your frogs gay, but
We used an ultra low volume fogger, right, that goes in the back of a side by side, and we filled it with permethrin, and you would spray all around we did it in research facility pens. You'd spray this fog essentially out, just like you would see, if you're in a big city and you ever see these guys drive down and spray mosquitoes at night, and you're like, what the hell is this truck doing?
Or airplanes.
Yeah, it's an ultra low volume fogger that's spraying out permethrin, and it kills it. Now,
Chemtrails.
Again, instantly you're going to have a sponge effect, right? Like new midges just move in or they hatch back out. So you have to just keep doing the process over and over and over and over again. But other than that, there is no treatment for this. Doesn't exist.
Well, fungicides and pesticides right now is Illinois max level right now.
Sure.
Like, there was just a guy that crashed one of the planes in Centralia, I think this morning. But right now, yesterday I had a helicopter next door to me doing it. Over there, I had a big yellow airplane, pesticides and whatever, fungicides or whatever. And then the drones were out in full force.
Yeah.
I think if there was ever a time to have your drone guy or the drone guys spreading brassicas early, this is the year to do it.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because we're going to be dry earlier. Corn's going to, it's tasseled, ready to rot. Like our deer stuff isn't, but everybody else's is.
Yeah. Well, dude, my Kentucky corn is tasseled out. And that went in late. No, it was a fast corn. I can't remember. It was 85 day corn or something like that.
That would be tasseled right now. My 115 is not tasseled. Yeah. It's days away. But everything else is tasseled, corned, drying tassels, rocking. I've never seen it this early. So if we're trying to educate anybody, hey, if anybody's listening out there, know this ahead of time on these farmers, dude, if you go pay for the farmer to have a cover crop and you go pay for the thing, that's a move. That's a gangster move right now, to call your farmers on either the place you own, or even better yet, for you leasers or permission guys, and you want some killer crops. This is going to be the year to go talk your farmer into doing cover crops instead of ripping your leftovers underground, and then just go pay for all the stuff.
Yeah, man. No, I love that idea for sure. Yeah, it's just lots of things going on. And I mean, that is the thing right now. Like, if we have anything to worry about, it's like we're entering EHD season, right? Yep. Like, it's staring us in the face over the next 6 weeks.
Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah. You just don't want to see it. That's why when I didn't watch it all. I just watched. There were 2 parts to it, but I saw something that it was like Lee found dead deer in his pond or something.
I was surprised to hear you say that, because I know they've had so much success with whatever the concoction they're feeding. He's like almost to the point where he's like, our deer, like, it's not very many of them die, but off the property they do.
I think it's a bit inevitable on that stuff. So
these guys are gonna come in and grab a seat. What's up, dudes? Right there's a seat. You can throw that 4 corn on the ground there, and then you guys can there's one here and there's one back here. Help yourself wherever, man. You can sit on the ground.
But yeah, so I mean, I don't know, but hopefully not. Especially where we're at, getting all this rain. Like, if all of a sudden it turns off, that's bad recipe on that side for sure. But ultimately, who knows? Like, hopefully we don't have to deal with it. We did talk. What was it? Maybe it was like Duncan and Skalma and those guys I was talking to, and we had this past winter, we did have a very good cold snap of like 7 to 10 days. And if you look back at the past years when we've had EHD, we never had that like massive drop in temperature, like negative type stuff. We had that this year, and I do think that plays a big role in the larva in the soil.
if we're going back on like stuff we remember, I can tell you this year that the Japanese beetles,
Yep.
they didn't hit my trees for a month later than they normally do, and they were half as bad.
Interesting.
And I haven't had any ladybugs yet, right? Like, so like if I'm looking at these pests,
Yeah.
they weren't as bad this year. Knock on wood, whatever you want to say, but they were 30 days later and whatnot.
That's true.
So since I saw you guys last, you guys went out and shot out
Utah.
west.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did a bunch of that gear.
Yep.
Good. Hoyt, did you get Hoyt to just give me a bow to shoot this year to see if they're any good?
It's in the mail. Watch for it.
I got the titaniums here, the beasts.
Mm-hmm. We did see
Pretty
those
excited.
guys randomly at a restaurant. We were eating with Bushnell and Primos, and we look behind us, and there's Bomar sitting there.
The Bomar.
Mm-hmm. And Pole.
Me and the
and
Bomar
Hauser.
have been planting beans, and
I've been loving these conversations. The love triangle between Chris and he's doing all of his Illinois stuff. And maybe you're not planting the Iowa stuff, but you're helping him with some
no,
stuff,
but I'm thinking about taking over. I always got the hook up on seed and stuff, and I want him to try some other things. And like, yeah, he's still younger than me. Like, we're friends. He's still younger than me. I'm trying to teach him. He doesn't trust a lot of people, and so I'm like educating. And Jared thinks it's hilarious.
Well, here's
dude,
why.
I can't even imagine.
Here's why it's funny, because the dynamic is like Josh is obviously particular, and he has a way that he thinks he wants them done. And Brackett's the kind of guy that's like, hey, if you're going to ask me for one thing, I'm going to do everything, and it's going to be my way. And so then they have
Sounds right.
then there's miscommunication bound to happen. So I'm here to bring us all back together.
And the cool part is like, he's like, dude, I trust you. Your food plots are unbelievable, whatever, like whatever. And I'm like, well, here's my recommendations. I'll be happy to help you. But if I'm helping, I'm helping. And so, and so the dynamic,
You're going to take my help whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
well, like if I'm going to go drive and put in a food plot or just beans or whatever, I'm like, hey, let me teach you too. I don't like to give you a fish. I like to, teach you to fish, right? So
fishes and
I
loaves.
went over and
Got
put
it.
some beans in, and I did my special lime and my concoction, and then I had extra beans, and so I went over and put beans in because I knew it's gonna die. The beans are gonna come up, and he's like, "What are you doing? We didn't want beans there," and I'm like, "We'll just till them under." Like, I'm trying to take the pressure off the main bean plot by putting them over there. We don't have to leave them. And he's like, no, good idea. But like the initial shock of it was like, that wasn't the plan. I'm like, I got it.
This can only get better from here.
Yeah.
We're here for it.
So what we were discussing, like brassicas, and I'm a big fan on taking whatever blend I got. And I'm a white gold guy. You guys are a Sturgis guy, right? Like, he's got a cool mix that has like everything in it, right?
Yep.
Mine doesn't have everything in it. I have like Gold Fever, and then I have like a Radish Heavy blend of like Claim Jumper. Well, you could take that Claim Jumper and dump it in with your blend and make it collard greens and Radish Heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's the key to a lot of brassica mixes. And so that was the discussion, was like, dude, what do you think? And I go, it doesn't matter what your base blend is, as long as it's kind of, standard. And if you add these Radish Heavy and these collards and these kale to it, it's all like Donkey Kong. Like, that's the sweetness to it.
Yeah.
And so that's what the discussion was like, what do you think? I'm like, well, we definitely have to get these and put it with the mix that you've been using or whatever. Let's get this going. So it was what Jared's been privileged to, like, me going like, I want to help them, but I also I want to just go ahead and help them. Like, just go ahead and do it. I'm already here. Let me just do it. And trust me, I got it. And so it's been a fun learning how to communicate with other alpha males type relationship.
Yeah,
That's exactly what
you
it
guys
is.
are adult. You guys are adults. You'll figure
We're
it out.
adults.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we got to remember, like, both of us have such other big fish to fry. He's got such cool stuff coming out with Beast and with David. I loved that podcast, by the way.
Oh, dude, yeah,
so we got these other things going in, and then we got these things in the middle. And then, me, I'm just a little bit older, where I'm like, it's just seed and food plots. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, what? Are you sure? I'm like, I've never been more sure of anything in my life.
Guys are such the opposite on that spectrum too. He's
I'm
so excitable, and you're just so like bull in the shade. Like,
You just got it.
Yeah.
Like, that part I got it, but don't ask me to engineer something or work on my car or what. Like, I can't do some of that stuff, but it's taken me 47 years to go, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm doing, but this one I got. So it's fun. It's a cool adult relationship, and I'm really excited. Like, be with beasts. Dude, I've shot every broadhead in the planet, and I was a rage guy for like 9 million years, and I am scared to death to close this thing.
I know, dude.
It's so sharp. I mean, I've already cut myself a million times, but yeah, there's that's been a fun conversation. Everybody like, what do you really think if you're not paid by them? I'm like, listen, last year I was shooting them, and they're scary sharp. My shoulder hurts, so it's like 52 pounds blowing through things, and then you got that. So I shot one with what is that? The 2.5, is it 2.5 or 2.3, and then the 2, and then now you got the titanium. These things are just deadly.
Yeah.
I enjoyed David on because David really took me under his wing and taught me when I was shooting the ASA stuff.
Yeah.
I enjoyed your conversation the other day.
Yeah, dude, David was awesome, man.
He's a straight shooter. No pun intended.
Yeah.
He's extremely talented and then like excitable. And then he was with me when I found Go Round, one of these deer right here, I think right here in the corner.
That's right.
And so they all hunt the same area I used to hunt, and I had a blast. He was there when I through ASA, taught me. Him and Thacker and some of these other guys took me under their wing. So for sure, if they're making stuff that's good, like,
yeah,
I believe in the broadhead big time.
Yep. Agree, man. Well, cool, dude. Well, we appreciate you spending some time with us this afternoon, as always, and look forward to seeing you this week out in Illinois. Next week.
Yeah, you guys scoring deer today, or what are you guys doing?
Yeah, they're gonna score my deer here once we wrap up.
We'll see how drunk we were when we scored it.
143.
I know, right? I'm like, what if it comes back at like 167? What do you think after just holding it? You think we're in a ballpark? All right. He thinks we're in a ballpark.
We were pretty lit though.
They definitely shrink.
Yeah. For the record, my measurements were on. So if Jeremy's math was on,
if I was holding the calculator out like this to type it in.
Yeah.
They definitely do shrink.
That's what she said. Oh.
Yeah. Cold water.
Yeah. Warm water. Just water. Yeah.
Just water in general.
Yeah. So I appreciate y'all having me on anytime. What do we need to get? What do we need to get ready
for next week?
You guys hanging stands? You guys?
Honestly, dude, the thing I'm like back and forth on is whether we're going to actually need the drill or not. After this past week, when I did mine in Ohio, I had already killed all that stuff, and I'm like, there's so much soil exposed, I would have cut my time in half if I just broadcasted. So as long as there's not real bad thatch or anything, I mean, we might even be okay without it.
Well, I don't have my truck back, but another option is I have 2 tillers sitting here that would easy enough to put on the trailer, and you could put it right in the back of that 3-point and till everything and throw everything down, and you can even take the Packer Max and throw it on the trailer too, and then you'd have everything and roll it in if you're only doing an acre or 2.
Yeah, it's an acre or 2, so cool.
That's easy peasy.
Yep, we'll figure it out before then.
Super cool. Let me know. Well, good luck on the score.
We'll let you know.
All right, buddy. We'll see you.
Right.
HUNTR Podcast is brought to you by Primos.
Dude, double bowl blinds, the original doe can, and who could forget the iconic Magnum buck roar?
I mean, that in a nutshell is Primos for whitetail deer hunters. I mean, that buck roar is by far the best grunt call that's ever been made. I lost it in a CRP field in Kansas, somehow found it, and for the last 10 years, I've been notching every buck that I've called in with that call, and I can tell you there's a lot of marks on it.
There's been a lot of them over the years, man. I can recall. So my dad actually shot that 160-inch 8-point in Ohio a couple years ago. It was double bowl blind. I just set that up a few days before, and we've had a lot of success out of those over the years. And so right now, you can use code HUNTR, HUNTR, for a discount off anything on the Primos website. That's primos.com.
Speak the language. And booyah.
Yeah.
Booyah Brackett. Always good to have Chris on the pod, and
He's a good dude.
He's an easy talker.
He means
that's
well.
because we did a pod this morning for you and I, so that usually uses a lot of our brain power. So when you get a guy like Chris on, just let him roll.
Yeah,
just tee him up and let him roll.
He's just him, and I'm sure, I know Dom won't appreciate, that the feedback he gave there in the middle, but it's just, he is who he is, and
it's no filter. I don't think he's got any ill will versus Don.
No.
It's just he doesn't
if
agree.
you listen to him, and I was like, he means well. He'll glaze over some things, and you got to come back to him and be like, yeah, but Chris, this, and he's like, Well, yeah, but and whatever. And
well, I mean, it's the same with. I mean, yeah. If you talk about like we all plant real world seed beans.
Oh yeah,
they're the best soybeans out there,
as far as we know.
Yeah, I mean that's what we use. So I mean, like, yeah, clearly, like they know what they're doing.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, and all the respect to Don that's owed there, So, and I think he said that too. So,
yeah, the fence thing is interesting because I've been vocal that I'm not a fan of that at all.
Sure.
I think it's.
But in the same breath, I'm like, I get it. I can see the application for it.
I get it. I just think it's one step towards a bad direction for us all.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we'll all have fences on 3 sides.
Well, nobody wants them, including those guys. I can guarantee it.
Then why put them up?
Well, why?
So it's just that's the realistic expectation of the area. You're creating a false sense of what the area is capable of.
Yeah,
that's the way I look at it.
Oh.
There's a reason.
There's a lot of ways to look at it.
There's a reason that these records exist. I mean, we're about to get your buck scored, right? Like if 5 years from now everybody fenced 3 sides of Iowa, like they'd probably kill a bunch of those deer.
It would change the perception on it. For sure.
It wouldn't be cool. That's where I feel like we're going to go.
That is the risk. That is the risk.
And I just don't think that people
You're not wrong
are
about that.
acknowledging it. They're just like,
that's fair.
Yeah, but I need to. I don't want these guys shooting them at 4. I get it.
You're right. It does change. It can change the landscape. You're right.
So I just hope they think about that before it's just like, that's the next
That's
move.
fair. That's fair.
So, anyways, we appreciate Chris coming on. We'll see him next week in Illinois. I'll probably try to scram in on our farm companion or something too while we're out there.
When is that? It's not going to drop till right after we get back.
Yeah,
too,
so a couple. This will be a week after we get back.
Yeah,
I think that.
So we'll take the stuff, shoot a farm companion out there, maybe squeak on another guest. That'd be cool.
We're working on it. So, but we appreciate everyone listening to episode 262 with Chris Brackett, and we'll catch y'all next week.
Later.
Take me